Once upon a time, in a tranquil village surrounded by rolling hills and serene meadows, there was a secluded garden known as the Moonlit Garden. This garden was famous for its flowers that only bloomed under the light of the full moon. The flowers were said to have magical properties, and the villagers believed they brought good fortune and joy to those who tended them. For years, the Moonlit Garden had been cared for by a kind old woman named Alara. Her delicate touch and gentle care kept the garden flourishing, and the villagers often came to her for advice and blessings. However, one fateful night, a powerful storm swept through the village, and when the morning came, the Moonlit Garden was left in disarray. The once beautiful flowers were wilted and gray, and the magical glow had vanished. Desperate to restore the garden's magic, Alara confided in a brave young girl named Ava. Ava was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep love for nature. Alara explained that the garden's magic depended on a hidden, mystical artifact called the Moonstone, which had gone missing during the storm. The Moonstone was the key to the garden's enchantment, and without it, the garden's magic could not be restored. Determined to help, Ava set out on a quest to find the Moonstone and save the Moonlit Garden. The first challenge, the Enchanted Forest. Ava's journey took her to the Enchanted Forest, a dense woodland known for its whimsical and magical inhabitants. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a mischievous fox with fur that shimmered like stardust. To pass through the enchanted forest, the fox said with a sly grin, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Ava pondered the riddle for a moment and answered, "An echo." The fox's eyes sparkled with approval, and it pointed out a hidden path through the forest. "Follow this path," the fox instructed, "and it will lead you to the next challenge." The second challenge, the Crystal Lake. Following the fox's directions, Ava arrived at the Crystal Lake, a serene and reflective body of water surrounded by towering trees. The lake was guarded by a wise old turtle whose shell was adorned with glistening gemstones. To cross the Crystal Lake, the turtle said, "You must prove your wisdom. Answer this question. What has cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, and water but no fish?" Ava thought carefully and replied, "A map." The turtle's eyes gleamed with satisfaction, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the lake. Ava crossed the lake, her heart filled with hope and determination. The third challenge, the Cave of Shadows. On the other side of the lake, Ava found the Cave of Shadows, a dark cavern filled with swirling, mysterious shadows. At the entrance of the cave was an ancient door covered in intricate carvings. A voice echoed from within the cave, "To open this door and find the Moonstone, you must reveal your true intentions. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure heart." Ava took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to restore the Moonlit Garden's magic so that the village can once again be filled with joy and wonder." The cave's walls began to glow with a soft, silvery light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open to reveal the Moonstone resting on a pedestal. Its gentle, moonlit glow illuminated the cavern, filling it with a soothing, magical light. The revelation, restoring the Moonlit Garden. With the Moonstone in hand, Ava returned to the Moonlit Garden. As she placed the Moonstone in its rightful place at the center of the garden, a wondrous transformation took place. The flowers began to bloom once more, their petals glowing with vibrant colors, and the garden was bathed in a magical light that shimmered under the moon. The villagers gathered in awe as the Moonlit Garden was restored to its former splendor. Alara thanked Ava for her bravery and selflessness. And the garden's magic brought renewed joy and fortune to the village. The tale of Ava's quest became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of determination, kindness, and the magic that lies within a pure heart. Under the rejuvenated light of the Moonlit Garden, the village flourished, forever grateful for the young girl who had restored their magical haven. The moonlit melody. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the mountains kissed the sky and rivers sang lullabies, there was a hidden village called Leora. Leora was known for its breathtaking beauty and its connection to the stars. Each night, the village was bathed in moonlight that seemed to dance to an enchanting melody, a melody that only the pure-hearted could hear. In Leora lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was an orphan who had been raised by her grandmother, who was the village's storyteller. Though Ilara's life was modest, she had a gift for playing the harp, and her music was said to bring comfort and joy to all who heard it. Yet, despite her talent, Ilara felt a deep yearning within her heart, a desire to understand the source of the moonlit melody that filled the village with magic. A mysterious gift one evening, as the harvest moon rose high in the sky, Ilara was walking along the edge of the village. The moonlight was especially radiant, casting an otherworldly glow over the landscape. As she strolled, she noticed a small, silver box glimmering in the grass. She picked it up and opened it to find a delicate, moonstone pendant. Attached to the pendant was a note written in elegant script, to uncover the secret of the moonlit melody, wear this pendant and follow the path of light. Ilara felt a surge of excitement and curiosity. She clasped the pendant around her neck and watched as the moonlight seemed to intensify, forming a shimmering path leading towards the mountains. The path of light with determination, Ilara followed the luminous path. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the light grew brighter, guiding her towards a hidden grove. The trees in the grove were adorned with glistening silver leaves that rustled softly in the breeze. At the center of the grove stood an ancient, majestic tree with branches that reached towards the sky. Ilara approached the tree and noticed that its trunk had a door carved into it. She hesitated for a moment, then gently pushed open the door, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. The enchanted chamber at the bottom of the staircase, Ilara entered a vast underground chamber bathed in moonlight. The walls of the chamber were lined with glittering crystals, and at the center of the room was an exquisite harp with strings made of silver and moonbeams. The harp seemed to hum with a gentle, magical energy. As Ilara approached the harp, a soft voice echoed through the chamber. "Welcome, Ilara. You have been chosen to unlock the heart of the moonlit melody." Ilara looked around and saw a graceful figure emerge from the shadows, a moonlit guardian with shimmering wings and a serene presence. The guardian spoke, "The harp you see before you holds the essence of the moonlit melody. To awaken its magic, you must play a tune from your heart, one that reflects the purity and love within you." The moonlit melody. Ilara took a deep breath and began to play the harp. Her fingers danced across the strings, and as she played, a beautiful, celestial melody filled the chamber. The notes were pure and radiant, echoing the harmony of the moonlight above. The melody seemed to weave through the air, carrying a sense of peace and wonder. As the final note lingered, the chamber was enveloped in a dazzling light. The moonlight streaming through the crystals became a cascade of shimmering rays, and the harp's magic began to spread beyond the chamber, reaching the village of Leora. A magical transformation. Back in Leora, the villagers gathered in awe as the moonlight transformed into a magnificent spectacle. The sky sparkled with constellations that formed shapes and patterns, telling stories of old. The moonlight danced across the village, bringing with it a sense of joy and unity. Ilara returned to the village, her heart filled with a profound sense of fulfillment. The villagers welcomed her with open arms, and the magic of the moonlit melody became a cherished part of their lives. The village thrived, and Ilara's music continued to bring comfort and happiness to all. The legacy. The story of Ilara and the moonlit melody became a treasured tale in Leora, a reminder of the magic that exists when we follow our hearts and embrace the beauty around us. The moonstone pendant was passed down through generations, a symbol of the bond between the moon and the people of Leora. And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the enchanting melodies that graced the village, Leora remained a land of magic and harmony, forever blessed by the heart of one extraordinary young girl. Once upon a time, in the tranquil kingdom of Everwood, there stood an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. The villagers believed that the tree had a magical power to grant wisdom to those who sought it with a pure heart. It was said that the tree would whisper secrets of the past and guidance for the future to those who truly listened. In the village of Willowbrook, there lived a young boy named Thomas. Thomas was known for his kind heart and his curious nature. He loved to explore the woods and often helped the villagers with their troubles. Despite his kindness, Thomas had always felt a deep sadness because his family had been struggling to find happiness since the passing of his older sister, Eliza, who had been dearly loved by everyone. One day, Thomas heard a story about the Whispering Willow and its magical abilities. Determined to find peace for his family and himself, Thomas decided to visit the tree and seek its wisdom. Early the next morning, armed with a small satchel of provisions and a heart full of hope, Thomas ventured into the forest. The path to the Whispering Willow was long and winding, but he followed the faint whispers of the wind that seemed to guide him. As he approached the ancient tree, its branches swayed gently in the breeze, and a soft, melodious hum filled the air. Thomas felt a sense of calm wash over him. He stood before the willow, its leaves shimmering in the dappled sunlight, and took a deep breath. "Whispering Willow," Thomas said with reverence, "I come seeking wisdom and guidance for my family. We have been in sorrow since the loss of my sister, Eliza. Please, help us find peace and joy once more." The Whispering Willow's branches rustled, and a soothing voice spoke from within the tree. "To find the peace you seek, you must first help others find their own. Only through acts of kindness and understanding can you heal your own heart." Thomas listened carefully and decided to follow the tree's advice. He began by helping the villagers in various ways, repairing broken fences, comforting those who were troubled, and sharing his time and kindness with everyone around him. His actions, though small, had a profound impact on the village. One day, while tending to the village's garden, Thomas discovered an old, overgrown plot of land that had once been the pride of Willowbrook. He decided to restore it, hoping it would bring joy to the villagers. With the help of his friends, he cleared the land, planted flowers, and built a beautiful gazebo in the center. As the garden bloomed and the gazebo stood proudly, the village began to flourish. The once somber atmosphere lifted, and the villagers' spirits brightened. They celebrated Thomas's efforts with gratitude and joy, and the village became a place of warmth and happiness once more. Thomas felt a deep sense of fulfillment as he saw the positive changes in his community. He returned to the Whispering Willow to thank it for the guidance it had given him. The tree's voice spoke again, "You have found the true meaning of wisdom by sharing your heart with others. Your family's happiness will return, for joy is not only found in receiving but also in giving." With renewed hope, Thomas returned home to find that his family had also been touched by the village's transformation. His parents, seeing the joy and love that surrounded them, felt their hearts healing. Though Eliza was no longer with them, her memory was honored through the happiness and kindness that had been rekindled in their lives. Thomas and his family lived happily in Willowbrook, their hearts forever touched by the Whispering Willow's wisdom. The ancient tree continued to stand tall, offering guidance and comfort to all who sought its counsel. And so, the village thrived, and the Whispering Willow remained a symbol of the magic that can be found in kindness, understanding, and the simple acts of helping one another. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by towering mountains, there was a magical forest known as Everwood. In the heart of Everwood stood a majestic willow tree, known to all as the Whispering Willow. This tree was said to have the power to grant a single wish once every 100 years, but only to those who could uncover its hidden melody. In a small village at the edge of the forest lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his curiosity and adventurous spirit. He often ventured into Everwood, exploring its secrets and marveling at its beauty. Despite the village's warnings about the forest's mysteries, Finn was drawn to its enchantments. One day, while wandering near the Whispering Willow, Finn noticed that the tree seemed to shimmer with a soft, golden light. The leaves rustled gently, and a faint, haunting melody drifted through the air. Intrigued, Finn approached the tree and heard the melody more clearly. It was a beautiful, yet elusive tune that seemed to be both familiar and strange. Determined to uncover the secret of the melody, Finn decided to visit the village's wise elder, Grandma Eliza. She was known for her knowledge of the forest's legends and magic. "Grandma Eliza," Finn said, "I heard a beautiful melody coming from the Whispering Willow. Do you know what it means?" Grandma Eliza smiled warmly. "Ah, the Whispering Willow's melody is a long-forgotten song. It is said that the tree's magic can only be unlocked by someone who understands its tune and has a pure heart. The melody holds the key to the tree's power." Finn's eyes sparkled with determination. How can I learn the melody and unlock the tree's magic? Grandma Eliza handed Finn an old, leather-bound book. This book contains ancient songs and stories about Everwood. Perhaps within its pages, you will find a clue to the melody you seek. With the book in hand, Finn returned to the Whispering Willow. He spent days studying the ancient songs, listening to the tree's melody, and trying to match the notes. The melody was delicate and elusive, but Finn was patient and persistent. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest was bathed in twilight, Finn heard the melody more clearly than ever. He realized that the notes of the melody matched a series of musical symbols in the book. With newfound insight, Finn began to hum the tune, matching it with the symbols. To his amazement, the Whispering Willow's leaves began to glow more brightly, and the melody grew stronger. The tree's branches swayed rhythmically, as if dancing to the tune. Finn continued to hum, his heart full of hope and concentration. As Finn reached the final note of the melody, a soft, shimmering light enveloped the tree. The Whispering Willow's branches parted, revealing a hidden door at the base of the trunk. Inside the hidden chamber was a beautiful, ancient chest adorned with intricate carvings. Finn carefully opened the chest, and inside he found a delicate silver locket with a single, glowing gem. The locket seemed to pulse with a gentle light, and a soft, melodic hum emanated from it. The Whispering Willow's voice echoed through the forest, filled with gratitude. Young Finn, you have uncovered the hidden melody and unlocked the magic of the tree. This locket holds the power to grant one wish. Use it wisely, for it carries the heart of Everwood. Finn held the locket close and thought deeply about his wish. He remembered the villagers and their struggles with the harsh weather that had recently plagued their lands. He wished for the prosperity and well-being of his village and the restoration of their fertile lands. As Finn made his wish, the locket's gem glowed brightly and released a wave of shimmering light that spread across the valley. The light touched the village and the surrounding lands, bringing with it the blessing of rain, fertile soil, and renewed hope. When Finn returned to the village, he was greeted with cheers and amazement. The fields were lush and green, and the villagers' homes were filled with joy and abundance. The village flourished once more, thanks to Finn's selfless wish. Finn kept the locket as a reminder of his adventure and the power of the Whispering Willow. He continued to explore Everwood, cherishing the magic and wonder of the forest. The Whispering Willow remained a symbol of hope and enchantment, waiting for the next kind-hearted soul to uncover its secrets. And so, under the canopy of Everwood, Finn and his village lived happily ever after, their lives enriched by the magic of the Whispering Willow and the melody that had brought them prosperity and joy. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between misty mountains and sparkling rivers, there was a small village called Bramblewood. Bramblewood was known for its lush meadows and friendly people, but its most treasured possession was a legendary artifact, the Golden Compass. This magical compass was said to guide its bearer to their heart's true desire. For years, the Golden Compass had been kept in the village's ancient tower, guarded by a wise old keeper named Master Finn. The compass had always pointed true, guiding many villagers in their quests and adventures. But as time passed, its magic began to fade, and the compass's needle no longer moved with certainty. One day, a young and curious girl named Lyra arrived in Bramblewood. Lyra was known for her adventurous spirit and her love of stories. When she heard about the Golden Compass and its fading magic, she felt a strong urge to help. She believed that the compass's magic was tied to the dreams and wishes of the villagers, and she decided to seek out the source of the problem. Lyra approached Master Finn and asked, "How can I restore the magic of the Golden Compass?" Master Finn looked at her kindly. "The compass's power wanes because it has lost its connection to the dreams of those it has guided. To restore it, you must journey to the enchanted lake at the edge of the kingdom. There, you will find the Moonstone, which holds the key to renewing the compass's magic. But be wary, the journey is not without peril." Determined, Lyra set off on her quest. She traveled through dense forests and over rolling hills, guided by the last faint glimmer of the compass. Along her journey, she faced several challenges. First, Lyra encountered a deep chasm with no visible way across. As she pondered her predicament, she noticed a series of stepping stones appearing and disappearing in the chasm. By carefully timing her steps, she managed to cross safely. Next, she reached the Whispering Forest, where the trees seemed to whisper riddles and secrets. To navigate through the forest, Lyra had to solve a riddle posed by the trees. I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I? Lyra thought hard and answered, a pencil. The trees parted, revealing a path to the enchanted lake. As she arrived, she saw the moonstone resting on a pedestal in the center of the lake. To reach it, she had to cross a series of floating lily pads. Each pad glowed softly, but some were unstable and would sink if she stepped on them. With careful balance and a steady heart, Lyra crossed the lily pads and reached the moonstone. As she touched it, the stone began to glow brightly, and a shimmering bridge of light appeared, leading her back to the shore. Lyra returned to Bramblewood with the moonstone, which she placed alongside the golden compass. As the moonstone's light touched the compass, the needle began to spin with renewed energy, glowing with a warm, golden light. The compass's magic was restored, and it now pointed true with unwavering certainty. The villagers rejoiced, grateful to Lyra for her bravery and determination. They celebrated with a grand feast and honored Lyra with a special ceremony. Master Finn approached Lyra and said, "You have not only restored the compass's magic but also reminded us of the importance of dreams and hope. The golden compass will now guide future generations with its renewed power." As the festivities continued, Lyra felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had not only achieved her goal but had also learned the value of perseverance and the power of following one's heart. With a heart full of joy, Lyra bid farewell to the villagers and continued her adventures, carrying with her the lessons she had learned and the memories of her quest. The golden compass remained a cherished symbol of hope and guidance in Bramblewood, its magic forever intertwined with the dreams and aspirations of those who sought its wisdom. And so, Bramblewood flourished, guided by the golden compass and the spirit of adventure that Lyra had rekindled. The village thrived under the watchful glow of the compass, its light a beacon of hope for all who ventured forth. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between misty mountains and rolling meadows, there was a grand castle where Princess Arya lived. Arya was known throughout the land for her bravery and kindness. She loved exploring the castle grounds and the enchanted forests that surrounded it, always seeking new adventures. One day, as Arya wandered through the royal gardens, she overheard a conversation between two ancient oak trees. Their whispers spoke of a powerful artifact hidden deep within the Forbidden Forest, a mystical sapphire stone known as the Heart of the Forest. According to legend, this stone had the power to grant one wish to the pure-hearted soul who found it. Intrigued and determined to help her kingdom, which had been facing a long drought, Arya decided to embark on a quest to find the heart of the forest. She packed a small satchel with essentials, including a map of the forest, her trusty sword, and a warm cloak, and set out on her journey. The Forbidden Forest was a place of wonder and mystery, with towering trees whose branches seemed to touch the sky. The deeper Arya ventured, the more magical the forest became. Glowing flowers lit her path, and gentle creatures with shimmering wings fluttered around her. As Arya followed the map, she came upon a babbling brook. To her surprise, the brook spoke in a gentle, melodic voice. "Only those who prove their bravery and kindness may pass this way. To continue, you must help those in need." Arya agreed and soon encountered a group of woodland creatures trapped under a fallen tree. With careful effort, she lifted the tree and freed the animals, who chattered their thanks before scampering off into the forest. Continuing her journey, Arya reached a clearing where an ancient, wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl, with eyes like deep pools of knowledge, regarded her with a solemn gaze. "The heart of the forest is near," the owl said, "but you must pass one final test. You must face your greatest fear." Arya took a deep breath and ventured further into the forest. As she walked, she suddenly found herself in a dark, eerie part of the woods. Shadows danced around her, and strange noises echoed through the trees. Arya's heart raced, but she remembered her purpose and pressed on. In the heart of the darkness, she discovered a shadowy figure, a fearsome dragon with scales that glinted like night. The dragon roared, sending tremors through the ground. Arya's courage wavered, but she knew she had to face the dragon to find the heart of the forest. With determination, Arya stepped forward and spoke in a steady voice. "I seek the heart of the forest to bring help to my kingdom. I mean no harm, but I must prove my bravery." The dragon's eyes softened, and it spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. "Bravery is not the absence of fear but the strength to face it. You have shown great courage. I will help you find the heart." The dragon led Arya through the darkness to a hidden glade where the sapphire stone rested upon a pedestal of entwined vines. The stone glowed with a mesmerizing blue light, illuminating the entire glade. Arya approached it with reverence and awe. As she touched the heart of the forest, a soft, melodious voice filled the air. "Brave Princess Arya, your wish will be granted. What is it that you desire?" Arya closed her eyes and thought of her kingdom, suffering under the drought. With a hopeful heart, she made her wish. "I wish for the drought to end and for my kingdom to prosper." The sapphire stone shimmered brightly, and a warm, golden light spread across the land. The drought was lifted, and the fields and streams were replenished with life-giving water. The kingdom flourished once more, and the people rejoiced. Arya returned to her castle, where she was welcomed with celebration and gratitude. The kingdom thrived, and Arya's bravery and kindness were celebrated in songs and stories told throughout the land. The heart of the forest, having fulfilled its purpose, was returned to its hidden place, awaiting the next soul with a pure heart who sought its magic. And Princess Arya continued her adventures, always guided by the courage and kindness that had led her to the heart of the forest. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there was a village called Eldergrove. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, guided by the wisdom of a magical silver willow tree that stood at the center of their village. The silver willow was said to have been planted by moonlight and was renowned for its shimmering leaves that could grant wishes once every 100 years, during the midnight moon, a rare event when the moon was at its brightest. As the centennial midnight moon approached, excitement buzzed through Eldergrove. The villagers prepared for the grand celebration, decorating their homes with glowing lanterns and preparing delicious feasts. However, amidst all the excitement, a shadow fell over the village. Young Elara, a kind-hearted girl with a deep love for the silver willow, discovered that the ancient tree was beginning to wither. Elara was deeply troubled. She learned from the village elder that the silver willow's withering was due to a curse cast by a wicked sorceress who lived in the Darkwood Forest, a place where no light could penetrate. The sorceress, once scorned by the village for her dark deeds, had vowed to ruin the midnight moon celebration as revenge. Determined to save the silver willow and restore the magic of the midnight moon, Elara volunteered to venture into the Darkwood Forest and confront the sorceress. The villagers, though worried, admired Elara's bravery and provided her with a magical lantern that could pierce through the darkness of the Darkwood Forest and a map that showed the way. Elara set off on her journey as the sun began to set. The forest was eerie and silent, and the darkness seemed to swallow every ray of light. As Elara ventured deeper, she encountered a mischievous fox named Finn, who was known for his clever tricks. "What brings you to the Darkwood Forest?" Finn asked, his eyes glinting in the dim light. Elara explained her quest to save the silver willow. Finn, intrigued and impressed by her determination, decided to help her. "I know the way to the sorceress's lair, but we must navigate the enchanted maze and avoid the traps she has set." With Finn's guidance, Elara navigated the maze of the Darkwood Forest, solving riddles and avoiding magical traps. They crossed a river of illusions, where they saw false images of their fears, and climbed a mountain of echoes, where they heard whispers of doubt. At last, they reached the sorceress's lair, a dark, foreboding castle covered in tangled vines and thorns. Finn and Elara crept inside, where they found the sorceress sitting on a throne of shadows. The sorceress looked up, her eyes glowing with malevolence. "What are you doing here, young one?" she hissed. Elara stood tall and spoke with courage. "I have come to lift the curse from the silver willow and restore the magic of the midnight moon." The sorceress laughed bitterly. You think you can undo my curse? The darkness is my domain, and the silver willow will wither. Elara held up the magical lantern, its light cutting through the darkness. Your darkness may be powerful, but the light of hope and courage can overcome it. As Elara's lantern shone brightly, the sorceress's power began to wane. The dark castle trembled, and the vines and thorns began to wither. The sorceress, seeing her power diminishing, grew desperate. She tried to summon a final wave of dark magic, but Elara's unwavering light and determination broke through. The sorceress was forced to flee, and the dark castle crumbled into dust. With the curse broken, the Darkwood Forest began to brighten, and the path back to Eldergrove was illuminated by the light of the lantern. Elara and Finn returned to the village just as the midnight moon was reaching its zenith. The silver willow, now free from the curse, glowed with renewed brilliance. Its shimmering leaves sparkled in the moonlight, and the village erupted in joyous celebration. The villagers gathered around the silver willow, their faces lit with awe and gratitude. Elara was hailed as a hero, and her bravery was celebrated with a grand feast and a special ceremony under the midnight moon. The magical light of the silver willow spread throughout Eldergrove, bringing prosperity and happiness to the village. The story of Elara's courage in the midnight moon became a cherished tale, reminding everyone of the power of hope, bravery, and the light that shines even in the darkest of times. And so, Eldergrove thrived in the light of the silver willow, forever grateful for the girl who saved their magical tree and their midnight moon. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where twilight painted the sky with hues of purple and gold, there was a magical kingdom called Celestia. This kingdom was known for its breathtaking night skies, where stars twinkled in elaborate patterns that told stories of old. The beauty of the stars was thanks to the kingdom's star painter, an enigmatic figure who painted the night sky with stardust and dreams. The star painter, whose real name was Elara, lived in a grand observatory atop the highest hill in Celestia. She used a magical brush made from moonlight and stardust to create constellations and celestial designs. Every night, she would weave the tapestry of stars that enchanted the kingdom's people. One evening, as Elara prepared for her nightly task, a dark cloud blotted out the moon, causing the sky to become dim and gloomy. Elara realized with horror that her magical brush had gone missing. Without it, she couldn't paint the stars, and the night sky would remain dark and empty. Panicked, Elara set out on a quest to find her missing brush. Guided by the faint glimmer of the stars that still managed to shine through the darkness, she ventured into the enchanted forest, a place known for its whimsical and mysterious creatures. As Elara walked deeper into the forest, she encountered a wise old owl named Orion perched on a branch. Orion was known for his vast knowledge of the forest secrets. "Have you seen a magical brush?" Elara asked urgently. "It's crucial for my work as the star painter." Orion hooted thoughtfully. "I've heard whispers of a shadowy figure who has been seen roaming these woods. They might have taken your brush. To find them, you must first solve the riddle of the forest." The owl presented Elara with a riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elara pondered and then answered, "An echo." Orion's eyes gleamed with approval. "You are wise, and you are on the right path. The shadowy figure you seek is hiding in the moonlit grove, where echoes come to life." With Orion's guidance, Elara reached the moonlit grove, a place where the moonlight created an enchanting glow and shadows danced among the trees. As she entered the grove, she spotted a figure cloaked in darkness, holding her magical brush. "Stop right there," Elara called out. "That brush belongs to me." The shadowy figure revealed themselves to be a mischievous sprite named Lyric, known for her love of playing tricks. Lyric had taken the brush because she wanted to create her own constellation, one that she hoped would bring laughter and joy to the land. "I didn't mean any harm," Lyric explained. "I just wanted to add a little fun to the sky." Elara smiled understandingly. "I see your intentions were good, but the brush is part of a delicate balance that keeps the night sky beautiful for everyone. Perhaps we can work together to create something special." Lyric's eyes lit up with excitement. Really? I'd love that. The two of them collaborated, combining Lyric's playful creativity with Elara's expert touch. They painted a new constellation, one that twinkled with vibrant colors and playful shapes, bringing both wonder and joy to the night sky. The constellation told a story of harmony and friendship, reflecting the unity between Elara and Lyric. When the constellation was complete, the night sky sparkled more brilliantly than ever, and the people of Celestia rejoiced at the new addition. Elara thanked Lyric for her help, and the sprite promised to use her mischief for good from then on. Elara and Lyric's newfound friendship became the talk of the kingdom. They continued to work together, creating mesmerizing night skies that celebrated the beauty of both magic and joy. The tale of the star painter and the mischievous sprite became a beloved legend in Celestia, reminding everyone of the magic that happens when creativity and cooperation come together. And so, the kingdom of Celestia shone brightly under its enchanting sky, a testament to the power of friendship and the wonders that arise from working together. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the mountains and across the crystal blue seas, there was a prosperous kingdom named Everwyn. This kingdom was known for its magnificent castles, flourishing gardens, and the joyous laughter of its people. But its most prized possession was the golden rose, a magical flower that bloomed in the royal garden and kept the land fertile and prosperous. One day, a dark sorcerer named Malgur, jealous of Everwyn's beauty and happiness, cast a dreadful spell over the kingdom. The golden rose withered, the skies turned gray, and a perpetual winter descended upon the land. Crops failed, and the once happy people of Everwyn began to lose hope. In a small cottage at the edge of the kingdom lived a humble tailor named Finn. Finn was known for his exceptional skill with a needle and thread, but more importantly, for his kind heart and unwavering spirit. As the kingdom fell into despair, Finn couldn't bear to see his friends and neighbors suffer. One evening, as Finn sat by his fireplace, he heard a faint, sorrowful whisper. It was the voice of the golden rose, calling out for help. "Brave Finn," it whispered, "only you can break Malgur's curse and restore Everwyn. You must find the crystal of light hidden in the forgotten forest and use its power to revive me." Determined to save his kingdom, Finn packed his belongings, including a sturdy needle, some thread, and his warmest cloak. He set out at dawn, his heart filled with resolve. As he journeyed through the snow-covered land, he encountered various challenges. The once friendly forest was now dark and eerie, filled with twisted trees and hidden dangers. After several days of arduous travel, Finn reached the edge of the forgotten forest. The trees here were ancient, their gnarled branches covered in thick layers of ice. The path was difficult to follow, and a bitter wind howled through the trees. But Finn pressed on, driven by the hope of saving his kingdom. Deep within the forest, Finn stumbled upon a wounded fox. Its paw was caught in a cruel trap set by the sorcerer's minions. Without hesitation, Finn used his needle and thread to carefully mend the fox's wound and free it from the trap. The grateful fox, named Reyna, offered to guide him through the treacherous forest. With Reyna's help, Finn navigated the forest's many dangers, from enchanted thorns to hidden pitfalls. They finally arrived at a crystal-clear lake that shimmered with an ethereal light. In the center of the lake stood a small island, and upon it, a crystal that glowed with a pure, radiant light. But guarding the island was a formidable ice dragon, its scales glistening like diamonds. The dragon roared, its icy breath freezing the air. Finn, though trembling with fear, stepped forward. "Great dragon," he called out, "I seek the crystal of light to save my kingdom. Please, allow me to take it." The dragon, sensing Finn's pure heart and bravery, lowered its head. "You have shown kindness to those in need, and your courage is true. You may take the crystal," the dragon said in a deep, rumbling voice. Finn carefully waded through the shallow water to the island and took the crystal of light in his hands. Its warmth spread through him, filling him with hope and strength. With the crystal in his possession, he and Reyna hurried back to Everwyn. Upon his return, Finn went straight to the royal garden. The withered golden rose lay in the center, surrounded by frost. He placed the crystal of light next to the rose, and its magic began to work. Slowly, the frost melted, the rose's petals unfurled, and the garden began to bloom once more. The skies cleared, the sun shone brightly, and the harsh winter that had gripped Everwind disappeared. The people of Everwind, seeing the miracle, rejoiced. King Cedric and Queen Elena, who had also been under Malgar's spell, awakened and regained their strength. Malgar, seeing his curse broken, tried to unleash his wrath upon Everwind. But the golden rose, now fully revived, created a shield of light around the kingdom, repelling the sorcerer's dark magic. Defeated and powerless, Malgar fled, never to be seen again. King Cedric and Queen Elena declared a grand celebration in honor of Finn's bravery and selflessness. They offered him a place of high honor in the court, but Finn, humble as always, chose to return to his cottage and continue his work as a tailor. The people of Everwind, forever grateful, often visited Finn's shop, seeking his expert craftsmanship and sharing stories of his heroism. The kingdom flourished once more, with the golden rose shining brightly in the royal garden, a symbol of hope and resilience. And so, Finn the brave tailor lived a long and happy life, his heart always filled with the joy of knowing he had saved his beloved kingdom. The tale of his courage and kindness was passed down through generations, a reminder that even the humblest of us can achieve great things with a pure heart and a steadfast spirit. And they all lived happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the sky shimmered with countless stars every night, there was a small village named Starlight. The villagers of Starlight were known for their wisdom and their deep connection to the night sky, which they believed was filled with magic and wonder. In this village lived a young boy named Finn. Finn had always been fascinated by the stars. Every evening, he would lie on the grass and gaze up at the night sky, dreaming of adventures beyond the village. One evening, as Finn was stargazing, he noticed a single star that seemed to shine brighter than the others. It twinkled with a mesmerizing, golden light. Finn was so entranced by its brilliance that he lost track of time. Suddenly, the star began to descend slowly, landing gently in front of him. To Finn's astonishment, the star transformed into a tiny, radiant figure, a fairy with delicate wings that glowed like the night sky. She introduced herself as Lyra, the Star Fairy. "Greetings, Finn. I've come to seek your help," she said with a voice like a soft chime. Finn, wide-eyed with excitement, asked, "How can I help you, Lyra?" Lyra explained that she was on a quest to find the Starry Compass, a magical artifact that had been lost for centuries. The Starry Compass was said to have the power to guide anyone to their heart's desire. It was hidden in a mystical land beyond the forest, protected by enchanted creatures and magical puzzles. "I need someone with a pure heart and a brave spirit to help me find it," Lyra said. "Will you join me on this quest?" Finn, eager for an adventure, agreed without hesitation. Lyra sprinkled some stardust over Finn, and they set off on their journey. Their first challenge was to cross the Whispering River, which was known for its mysterious currents and enchanted creatures. As they reached the riverbank, a group of playful water sprites appeared, their laughter echoing through the forest. "Welcome to the Whispering River," said one sprite. "To cross, you must solve our riddle. Answer correctly, and the path will be revealed." Lyra and Finn listened carefully as the sprite spoke the riddle. "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Finn thought hard, and then his eyes lit up with realization. "A map," he exclaimed. The sprites cheered, and a shimmering bridge made of moonlight appeared across the river. Finn and Lyra crossed safely to the other side. Their next challenge took them to the Forest of Echoes, a magical forest where every sound was repeated by the trees. In the center of the forest stood a grand oak tree with a door carved into its trunk. The door was locked with a combination of melodies. Lyra whispered, "We must play the right tune to open the door. Listen to the echoes and follow their melody." Finn listened carefully to the repeating echoes of the forest. He remembered the lullabies his grandmother used to sing and began humming a gentle tune. The echoes harmonized with his melody, and the grand oak tree's door slowly creaked open. Inside the oak tree, they found a golden chest with intricate designs. Finn opened the chest, revealing a shimmering star-shaped key, the key to the starry compass. Lyra's eyes sparkled with joy. The starry compass must be hidden in the celestial caves, Lyra explained. We're almost there. With the star-shaped key in hand, Finn and Lyra made their way to the celestial caves, which were illuminated by the soft glow of countless crystals. Inside the caves, they faced one final test, a labyrinth of mirrors that reflected light in every direction. To find their way, they had to use the star-shaped key to align the mirrors and create a beam of light that would guide them to the hidden chamber. After some effort, Finn and Lyra succeeded in aligning the mirrors. The beam of light revealed a hidden passage leading to a small, enchanting chamber. In the center of the chamber stood the starry compass, glowing with a warm, golden light. Lyra and Finn approached the compass. As they touched it, the compass spun gently and then pointed towards a distant part of the sky. The compass's glow brightened, filling the chamber with a soft, comforting light. "You have done it, Finn!" Lyra exclaimed. "The starry compass is now in our hands. With this, we can guide people to their heart's desires and bring hope and joy to the world." Lyra thanked Finn for his bravery and kind heart. As a token of gratitude, she gifted him a small star-shaped pendant that would always remind him of their adventure. As Finn returned to Starlight, the village was abuzz with excitement about his journey. He shared his tale, and the villagers celebrated the return of the starry compass. From that day on, Finn was known as the boy who helped find the starry compass. The compass's magic brought prosperity and hope to the kingdom, and Finn's bravery became a cherished story passed down through generations. And every night, when Finn looked up at the stars, he felt a special connection to the magical adventure he had experienced and the fairy who had guided him on his journey.
Once upon a time, in a cozy village nestled between rolling green hills, lived a young girl named Clara. Clara was known throughout the village for her vivid imagination and her love for stargazing. Every night, she would sit by her window, staring up at the sky, and dream of adventures among the stars. One crisp, clear night, as Clara gazed up at the twinkling sky, she noticed something extraordinary. A star, brighter than any she had ever seen, began to twinkle and then slowly descend from the heavens. It floated down, landing softly in her garden. Intrigued and excited, Clara rushed outside to see the star up close. In her garden, the star transformed into a beautiful, glowing figure. The figure had delicate, shimmering wings and a warm, gentle smile. "Hello, Clara," the figure said in a melodious voice. "I am Stella, a star fairy. I've come because I heard your wishes and dreams as you gazed at the night sky." Clara's eyes widened with wonder. "A star fairy? I've never heard of such a thing. What brings you here, Stella?" Stella smiled. "I've come to grant you one wish, Clara. Anything your heart desires." Clara thought for a moment, then replied, "I wish to bring happiness and prosperity to my village. The people here are kind and hardworking, but they've faced many hardships lately." Stella's eyes twinkled with delight. "A noble wish, indeed. Your kindness and selflessness will be rewarded. But remember, true happiness and prosperity come from within and from helping one another." With a wave of her wand, Stella cast a sparkling spell over the village. The once ordinary garden now shimmered with magical flowers that bloomed even in the darkest night, fruits that never spoiled, and herbs that could cure any ailment. As the days passed, the villagers began to notice the changes. The fields yielded abundant crops, the animals were healthy and thriving, and the people themselves seemed more joyful and full of energy. Clara's garden became a sanctuary where everyone gathered to share stories, laughter, and dreams. One day, a traveling merchant named Elias arrived in the village. He was amazed by the vibrant atmosphere and the happiness that radiated from everyone. He visited Clara's garden and was welcomed with open arms. Clara shared the story of Stella, the star fairy, and the wish she had made. Elias was deeply moved by Clara's story. "I have traveled far and wide, but I've never seen such a place of harmony and joy. You and your village have something truly special. Elias decided to stay in the village, and with his knowledge of trade and craftsmanship, he helped the villagers create beautiful goods to sell in neighboring towns. The village prospered even more, becoming known as a place of magic and happiness. Years passed, and Clara grew up, but she never lost her love for the stars. Every night, she would still gaze up at the sky, thanking Stella for the gift she had given. One evening, as she sat by her window, Stella appeared once again. "Clara," Stella said, "you have used your wish wisely and brought great joy to your village. But now it is time for you to embark on your own adventure." Stella handed Clara a small, glowing star. "This star will guide you wherever you wish to go. Follow it, and it will lead you to new dreams and new adventures." Clara hugged Stella, filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Stella. I will cherish this gift and continue to spread happiness wherever I go." With the glowing star in hand, Clara set off on a journey beyond her village, exploring new lands, meeting new people, and sharing the magic of the star with everyone she encountered. Her adventures became legendary, and the tale of Clara and the star's gift was told in villages far and wide. And so, Clara's story lived on, a reminder that with a kind heart and a wish for the happiness of others, one could light up the world like the brightest star in the sky.
Once upon a time, in a bustling city surrounded by rolling hills and ancient forests, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her adventurous spirit and her insatiable curiosity about the world beyond her home. Her father, a skilled navigator, had once told her stories of distant lands and magical places, which filled her dreams with wonder. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Mira stumbled upon an old, ornate compass. Its surface was engraved with intricate designs and its needle glowed faintly. Curious, Mira took it to her grandmother. "This compass belonged to your great-grandfather," her grandmother said. "Legend has it that it can guide its bearer to their heart's deepest desire, but only if they are truly worthy." Intrigued, Mira decided to test the compass. She held it tightly and thought about her deepest wish, to find a place where magic was real and adventures awaited. The needle spun wildly before pointing decisively toward the dense forest at the edge of town. The next morning, Mira packed a small bag with essentials and set off toward the forest. The trees were tall and ancient, their leaves whispering secrets as she walked. Guided by the compass, Mira ventured deeper into the woods, where the sunlight barely reached the forest floor. After hours of walking, Mira reached a clearing where an enormous, ancient oak tree stood. The tree's trunk was so wide that it took several people to encircle it. The compass's needle was now pointing directly at the tree. As Mira approached, she noticed a small, hidden door at the base of the tree. She hesitated for a moment but then bravely turned the handle and stepped inside. The door led to a spiral staircase that descended into the earth. With each step, Mira could feel her excitement growing. At the bottom of the stairs, Mira entered a grand hall adorned with shimmering crystals and glowing lanterns. In the center of the hall was a pedestal with a golden book resting upon it. The compass pointed straight to the book. Mira approached and opened it. To her amazement, the pages were filled with stories and illustrations of magical realms, mythical creatures, and grand adventures. As she read, the room around her began to transform, and she found herself transported to a vibrant, enchanted world. In this new world, Mira discovered a bustling village inhabited by talking animals, friendly fairies, and wise wizards. She met a charming fairy named Leora, who welcomed her warmly. "We've been expecting you," Leora said with a twinkle in her eye. "The enchanted compass has chosen you to help us. A dark sorcerer has stolen the Heartstone, the source of our magic, and we need your help to retrieve it." Mira agreed to help and set off on a quest with Leora and a brave talking lion named Leo. Their journey took them through enchanted forests, across sparkling rivers, and over treacherous mountains. Along the way, they faced challenges and riddles that tested their bravery and wit. At last, they reached the sorcerer's lair, a foreboding castle surrounded by dark clouds and eerie silence. With clever thinking and teamwork, Mira and her friends navigated the castle's traps and found the sorcerer in his chamber, holding the Heartstone. Mira stepped forward and confronted the sorcerer, her voice steady and determined. The Heartstone belongs to the people of this world. It is not yours to take. The sorcerer, surprised by Mira's bravery, tried to use his dark magic against her. But Mira, with the support of Leora and Leo, used the wisdom and courage she had gained on her journey to outwit him. They managed to reclaim the Heartstone and restore it to its rightful place in the center of the village. The village rejoiced, and Mira was celebrated as a hero. She was given a beautiful pendant as a token of their gratitude, a symbol of her bravery and kindness. Mira knew it was time to return to her world, but she promised her new friends that she would always remember their magical realm. When she stepped back through the portal and emerged in the forest, Mira found herself holding the compass, which now rested quietly. She returned home, carrying with her not only the pendant but also the memories of her incredible adventure. From that day on, Mira's life was filled with wonder and excitement, and she often shared her stories with others, inspiring them to seek their own adventures and believe in the magic of the world. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a kingdom surrounded by misty mountains and shimmering lakes, there was a charming village named Starhaven. Starhaven was known for its crystal-clear nights, where the stars seemed to twinkle more brightly than anywhere else. The villagers believed that the stars were magical and watched over them, guiding their lives with their gentle light. In this village lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her love of stargazing and her adventurous spirit. Every evening, she would climb the hill behind her cottage and lie on the soft grass, watching the constellations dance across the night sky. Her favorite star was the North Star, which she believed had a special connection to her dreams. One night, as Ilara was stargazing, she noticed that the North Star was dimmer than usual. Concerned, she decided to investigate. With a lantern in hand and a heart full of determination, she set off on a journey to the top of the highest mountain in the land, where it was said that the stars touched the earth. The path was steep and winding, and the journey was fraught with challenges. Ilara encountered a swirling snowstorm, crossed a rickety old bridge, and navigated through a dark forest filled with whispering shadows. But she pressed on, guided by the faint glow of the North Star. At the summit, she discovered a hidden cave. Inside, the walls were adorned with sparkling crystals, and at the center of the cave was a magical pool of starlight. Floating above the pool was a delicate, glowing star, its light flickering weakly. As Ilara approached, a gentle voice echoed through the cave. "Who dares enter the realm of the stars?" Ilara looked around and saw a wise, ancient figure emerge from the shadows. It was a celestial guardian with flowing robes that shimmered like the night sky. "I am Ilara," she said bravely. "I have come to restore the light of the North Star. It is dim, and I fear for the balance of the stars." The guardian's eyes softened with compassion. "The North Star is fading because the Starstone, which powers the stars, has been stolen by a dark sorcerer. Without it, the stars cannot shine as brightly. You are the first to reach this place, and I sense that you have a pure heart." Ilara's eyes widened. "How can I help retrieve the Starstone?" The guardian handed her a shimmering map and said, "Follow this map to the Shadow Realm, where the sorcerer hides. There, you must confront him and recover the Starstone. But remember, the power of the Starstone is not just physical, it also requires a heart full of courage and love." With the map in hand, Ilara ventured into the Shadow Realm, a place of swirling darkness and eerie silence. She navigated through the realm, her lantern's light piercing the shadows. Eventually, she found the sorcerer's lair, a towering fortress surrounded by swirling mists. Inside, the sorcerer sat on a dark throne, the Starstone glowing ominously at his side. He was a tall figure cloaked in shadows, his eyes gleaming with malice. "Why have you come here, child?" he sneered. Ilara took a deep breath. "I have come to reclaim the Starstone and restore the light of the North Star. The stars are important to the world, and their light brings hope and guidance." The sorcerer laughed. "You think you can take it from me? The Starstone's power is mine to command." With a sudden burst of bravery, Elara stepped forward and spoke from her heart. The power of the Starstone is meant to bring light and hope, not darkness. True power lies in using it for good. Her words struck a chord with the sorcerer. He hesitated, and for a moment, his hardened exterior softened. He realized the truth in her words. Reluctantly, he handed the Starstone over to Elara, his anger giving way to a deep, introspective sadness. Elara thanked him and quickly made her way back to the summit. With the Starstone in place, its light began to radiate throughout the cave, filling it with a brilliant, warm glow. The North Star's light was restored, and the stars across the sky sparkled with renewed brilliance. When Elara returned to Starhaven, the villagers celebrated her bravery and kindness. The North Star shone more brightly than ever, and the balance of the stars was preserved. The sorcerer, having seen the error of his ways, found redemption and vowed to use his magic for good. Elara's adventure became a cherished tale in Starhaven, a story of courage, kindness, and the power of a pure heart. The stars continued to guide and inspire the village, and Elara, with her unwavering spirit, lived happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a faraway land called Eldoria, there was a village named Morningside. This village was renowned for its beautiful orchards that stretched as far as the eye could see. The orchards bore the most delicious fruits, and people from neighboring villages would come to trade and taste the exquisite produce. In the heart of the largest orchard stood an ancient, majestic tree known as the Starlight Tree. The tree was said to be enchanted, its leaves shimmering with a silvery glow, and its fruits possessing magical properties. The villagers believed that the tree was a gift from the stars, and they treated it with great reverence, celebrating its bounty with festivals and songs. However, one year, the Starlight Tree stopped bearing fruit. Its leaves lost their shimmer, and the villagers were overcome with sorrow. The once thriving village began to wither, and the joy that filled Morningside faded. The village elders consulted ancient texts and prophecies, trying to understand what had gone wrong. They discovered an old legend that spoke of a curse placed on the tree by a jealous sorceress. The curse could only be broken by retrieving a magical artifact known as the Starseed, hidden in the depths of the enchanted forest. In Morningside lived a young girl named Elara, known for her bravery and kindness. She loved the Starlight Tree dearly, as it had been the heart of many happy memories in her life. Determined to save her village, Elara volunteered to find the Starseed and restore the tree's magic. The villagers were hesitant to let her go, knowing the dangers of the enchanted forest, but Elara's resolve was unwavering. Before she set off, the village elders gave Elara a locket that had been passed down through generations. The locket contained a piece of the tree's bark and was said to protect its wearer from dark magic. With the locket around her neck and a heart full of hope, Elara ventured into the enchanted forest. The forest was dense and filled with enchantments. As Elara navigated through the towering trees, she encountered a talking fox named Ryan. Ryan had bright, intelligent eyes and a mischievous grin. "What brings you to these parts, young one?" he asked. Elara explained her quest, and Ryan, impressed by her courage, offered to guide her through the forest. Together, they faced numerous challenges. They crossed the River of Whispers, where the water tried to lure them off their path with seductive voices. They braved the Cave of Echoes, where every step they took was mirrored by shadows that tried to lead them astray. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered a grumpy old owl named Orin. Orin initially tried to dissuade them, warning of the dangers ahead, but Elara's determination and kindness softened his heart. He revealed that he was once a guardian of the Starseed but had failed in his duty due to the sorceress's curse. Feeling responsible, Orin decided to join them on their quest. After days of arduous travel, they finally reached the Glade of Eternal Night, where the Starseed was said to be hidden. The glade was bathed in an eerie, perpetual twilight, and at its center stood a crystal pedestal, atop which lay the Starseed. Guarding the Starseed was a fierce dragon named Nocturne, scales shimmering like obsidian and eyes glowing with a malevolent light. "Who dares to enter my domain?" Nocturne roared, his voice shaking the ground. Elara stepped forward, her voice steady despite her fear. "I am Elara of Morningside, and I seek the starseed to save my village and restore the starlight tree." Nocturne laughed, a deep, rumbling sound. "Many have tried and failed. What makes you think you are worthy?" Elara took a deep breath, her hand clutching the locket. "I am not alone. I have the strength and support of my friends, Ryan and Oren, and the hopes of my village. Together, we can break the curse." Touched by her sincerity and bravery, Nocturne's eyes softened. "Very well. To prove your worth, you must face one final challenge. You must touch the starseed with a heart free of fear and full of hope." Elara nodded, her resolve unwavering. She approached the pedestal, feeling the weight of her village's hopes and dreams on her shoulders. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and touched the starseed. Immediately, a blinding light enveloped her, and she felt a surge of warmth and energy. When the light faded, the glade was transformed. The perpetual twilight was replaced by a warm, golden glow, and Nocturne's menacing form was gone, replaced by a majestic, gentle dragon. He bowed his head in gratitude. "You have broken the curse. The starseed is yours." With the starseed in hand, Elara, Ryan, and Oren made their way back to Morningside. When they arrived, the village erupted in joy. Elara planted the starseed at the base of the starlight tree, and as it took root, the tree began to glow with a brilliant light. Its leaves regained their silvery shimmer, and the branches were soon laden with the magical fruits once more. The village of Morningside flourished, and the people celebrated Elara's bravery and determination. The festivals returned, and the orchards thrived, more bountiful than ever. Elara's legend spread far and wide, inspiring others to act with courage and kindness. And so, Morningside lived happily ever after, forever grateful for the brave girl who saved their beloved starlight tree and brought joy back to their lives. The end. Once upon a time, in a tranquil kingdom surrounded by lush forests and sparkling rivers, there was a magical realm known for its beautiful birds. Among them was the rare silver feather, a mythical bird said to possess extraordinary powers and grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who could find it. In a small village at the edge of the kingdom, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was kind and brave, always helping her neighbors with their troubles. Her family was poor, but they were rich in love and kindness. Elara's greatest wish was to improve the lives of those around her and bring prosperity to her struggling village. One day, a severe winter hit the kingdom, bringing with it an unusually harsh frost. The crops failed, and the villagers were growing anxious. Remembering the legend of the silver feather, Elara decided to set out on a quest to find the mythical bird and make a wish that could save her village. The quest begins early one morning. Elara prepared for her journey. She packed a small bag with essentials, a warm cloak, some bread, and a flask of water. Her mother gave her a silver locket for good luck, a family heirloom that had been passed down through generations. With a hopeful heart, Elara ventured into the forest, guided by the tales of the silver feather. As she walked deeper into the forest, Elara came across a wise old tortoise named Thaddeus, who was known for his knowledge of the enchanted woods. Thaddeus was resting on a moss-covered rock, basking in the weak winter sunlight. "Good day, Thaddeus," Elara greeted him respectfully. "I'm on a quest to find the silver feather. Can you help me?" Thaddeus looked at Elara with wise, kind eyes. "The silver feather is a difficult treasure to find," he said. "It is said to dwell in the heart of the Whispering Glade. But first, you must overcome 3 trials that test the purity of your heart." The first trial, the frosted lake. Elara followed Thaddeus's directions to a frozen lake surrounded by tall, snow-covered trees. The ice was thick and treacherous, and Elara had to cross it to continue her quest. As she stepped onto the ice, it began to crack and groan. In the middle of the lake, she spotted a riddle carved into the ice. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and then answered aloud, "Fire." With her answer, the ice beneath her feet stopped cracking, and a narrow path appeared, leading her safely to the other side. The first trial was complete. The second trial, The enchanted grove. Alara soon arrived at a grove filled with glowing, magical flowers. The grove was beautiful but bewildering. The flowers seemed to hum and dance in the cold wind, creating a maze of shimmering petals. A sign in the center of the grove read, "To pass through, you must find the path of light. Follow the song that leads to the heart." Alara listened closely to the harmonious melody of the flowers and followed the softest, most enchanting tune. As she walked, the flowers seemed to part, guiding her through the maze until she reached the center of the grove. There, a small, sparkling key lay on a pedestal. The third trial, the guardian of the Whispering Glade. Alara continued her journey and finally reached the Whispering Glade, a serene, mystical place with tall trees that seemed to whisper secrets. In the center of the glade stood a majestic, ancient tree with a face carved into its trunk. The tree was the guardian of the glade. "Welcome, Alara," the guardian spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "You have completed the trials, but now you must show that your wish is truly selfless." Alara approached the guardian and spoke from her heart. "My wish is not for myself but for my village. I want to bring prosperity and warmth to those who are suffering from the harsh winter." The guardian listened intently and then nodded. "Your heart is pure, and your wish is selfless. The silver feather will grant your wish, but remember that true magic lies in the kindness you show others." The silver feather appears as the guardian spoke. A soft, shimmering light filled the glade. The silver feather appeared, its plumage sparkling like moonlight on fresh snow. The bird flew gracefully towards Alara, and she reached out, carefully taking the feather in her hand. The moment she held the silver feather, a warm, golden light enveloped the entire Whispering Glade. Alara felt a rush of joy and relief as the magic of the feather began to spread. Returned to the village. Alara hurried back to her village with the silver feather. When she arrived, she found that the feather's magic had already started to work. The snow began to melt, the crops revived, and a sense of warmth and renewal spread through the village. The villagers were overjoyed and amazed at the transformation. They celebrated Alara's bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the once struggling village now thrived with abundance. Alara's family was immensely proud of her, and the village honored her as a true hero. The silver feather, having fulfilled its purpose, disappeared back into the magical forest, leaving behind a lasting legacy of hope and generosity. A lasting legacy. Years passed, and the story of Alara and the silver feather became a cherished tale told to children around the village. Alara continued to help others, her actions always guided by the selflessness that had brought the silver feather to her. The kingdom flourished, and the forest remained a place of magic and wonder. Alara's legacy was a reminder that the greatest treasures are found in the kindness and love we give to others. And so, the village lived in prosperity and harmony, and the legend of the silver feather lived on as a beacon of hope for all who heard it. The end. The secret of the Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a lush and verdant valley, there was a small village named Willowbrook. The village was named after the majestic willow tree that stood at the edge of a sparkling river, its long branches swaying gently in the breeze. The villagers believed that the tree was enchanted, for it was said to whisper secrets to those who listened carefully. At the heart of the village lived a curious boy named Finn. He was known for his adventurous spirit and his love of exploring the mysteries of the world around him. Finn had always been fascinated by the Whispering Willow, but no one had ever been able to decipher its secrets. The mysterious whisper. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Finn decided to visit the Whispering Willow. He sat beneath its branches, listening to the soft rustling of its leaves. To his surprise, the whispers seemed clearer than ever before, as if the tree was trying to communicate with him. Finn closed his eyes and focused on the sound. The whispers gradually formed words, and Finn heard the tree speak. "The moon's light holds the key, follow the path where shadows flee." Intrigued and a little nervous, Finn decided to follow the tree's cryptic message. He waited until the moon was high in the sky, casting its silvery light over the village, and then set off to find the path where shadows fled. The moonlit path. As Finn wandered through the village, he noticed that the moonlight seemed to create a trail of shimmering light, leading him toward the forest at the edge of Willowbrook. The shadows of the trees appeared to retreat in the moon's glow, just as the whispering willow had said. Finn followed the trail deep into the forest, where the trees grew taller and thicker, their branches forming a dense canopy overhead. Despite the darkness, the moonlight guided him, illuminating the path before him. The forest was eerily quiet, with only the sound of his footsteps and the occasional rustling of leaves. Eventually, Finn reached a small clearing where a stone archway stood. The archway was covered in ancient carvings, and a soft glow emanated from within. Finn hesitated for a moment, then gathered his courage and stepped through the archway. The enchanted grove on the other side of the archway, Finn found himself in a beautiful grove bathed in moonlight. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and the ground was covered in soft, emerald-green grass. In the center of the grove stood a crystal-clear pond, its surface reflecting the light of the moon like a mirror. As Finn approached the pond, he noticed something unusual. At the water's edge, there was a small, delicate flower that seemed to glow with an inner light. The flower's petals were a soft shade of blue, and its fragrance was unlike anything Finn had ever encountered. He knelt down to examine the flower more closely, and as he did, the whispers of the willow returned, clearer and more urgent than before. The moonflower blooms but once a night, its magic will set all things right. The power of the moonflower. Finn carefully plucked the moonflower, holding it gently in his hands. As he did, the grove seemed to come alive with light and sound. The trees rustled in the breeze, and the pond sparkled with 1,000 tiny stars. Finn felt a warmth spread through him, and he knew that he had discovered something truly magical. But what was he to do with the moonflower? The whispering willow's words echoed in his mind, and he realized that the flower's magic could be used to bring peace and prosperity to his village. A gift to the willow, Finn hurried back through the forest, following the moonlit path until he reached the whispering willow once more. He placed the moonflower at the base of the tree and stepped back, unsure of what would happen next. As soon as the flower touched the ground, the willow's branches began to glow with a soft, golden light. The whispers grew louder, filling the air with a soothing melody. The moonflower's light spread throughout the village, casting a warm, peaceful glow over every home and field. The villagers, who had been watching from a distance, marveled at the sight. They gathered around the whispering willow, their faces filled with wonder. The once quiet tree now sang a song of joy and harmony, its magic bringing a sense of calm and happiness to all who heard it. A village transformed from that day forward. Willowbrook flourished like never before. The crops grew taller and richer, the river flowed clearer and purer, and the villagers lived in harmony with one another. The whispering willow became a symbol of the village's prosperity, and Finn was hailed as a hero for uncovering its secret. The moonflower, which only bloomed once under the full moon, continued to grow at the base of the tree, its magic renewing the village's blessings each month. And though the whispering willow still whispered its secrets, the villagers no longer needed to decipher them, for they had found the key to living in peace and harmony. And so, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the gentle whispers of the willow, Willowbrook thrived, forever grateful to the brave boy who listened to the tree's song. Once upon a time, in the heart of a misty forest, there was a quaint village named Luminera. The village was known for its vibrant gardens and shimmering streams, but it had one unique treasure, a magical lantern that was said to light the way for anyone who was lost or in need. The lantern was housed in the village's oldest cottage, which belonged to an elderly woman named Grandma Esme. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and wisdom. The lantern was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, and its soft, golden glow was believed to have the power to reveal hidden truths and guide people through their darkest hours. One day, the village was visited by a young prince named Leo from the neighboring kingdom of Eldoria. He had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was intrigued by its magic. The prince was on a quest to find a rare and precious flower known as the moon blossom, which only bloomed once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. The moon blossom had the power to cure his kingdom's ailing land. Grandma Esme welcomed Prince Leo warmly and listened to his tale. "The moon blossom is indeed a rare flower," she said, "and its blooming is a sight to behold. However, finding it requires more than just luck. It requires a heart that is pure and intentions that are true. The prince, determined to help his kingdom, asked Grandma Esme if she would lend him the enchanted lantern to aid in his quest. She agreed, but only if Leo promised to return it once his mission was complete, for the lantern held great significance to her family. With the lantern in hand, Prince Leo set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. The lantern's warm glow guided his path through the tangled woods and winding streams. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various challenges: swift rivers, steep cliffs, and dense thickets. Yet, the lantern's light always found a way to show him the safest path forward. During his journey, Leo came across a small, mysterious creature, a talking fox named Finn. Finn had a coat of shimmering silver and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "Why are you traveling so far into the forest?" Finn asked. "I am searching for the moon blossom," Prince Leo explained. "It is said to bloom only under the full moon, and I need it to save my kingdom." Finn's eyes widened with understanding. "I know where the moon blossom blooms, but it's a dangerous path. The lantern's light will help you, but you must also have a brave heart and a clear mind." Grateful for Finn's help, Leo followed him through the forest. The two of them faced many trials, from crossing rickety bridges to outsmarting mischievous sprites. With the lantern's guidance and Finn's assistance, they finally reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade was a majestic flower, the moon blossom. Its petals glowed with an ethereal light, and its fragrance filled the air with a sense of peace and hope. Prince Leo carefully collected the moon blossom and thanked Finn for his guidance. As he turned to leave, he noticed that the lantern's light was growing dim. The enchantment that had guided him was fading, and the path back seemed uncertain. Leo realized that he needed to return the lantern to Grandma Esme, as promised. With the moon blossom secured, Leo made his way back to the village. The journey was still challenging, but the memories of his adventure and his commitment to his kingdom's welfare kept him steady. Upon returning the lantern to Grandma Esme, he presented her with the moon blossom. "You have fulfilled your promise," Grandma Esme said, smiling. "And you have shown great courage and purity of heart. The lantern will continue to guide those in need, and the moon blossom will heal your kingdom." Prince Leo returned to Eldoria, where the moon blossom was used to restore the land to its former glory. His kingdom thrived once more, and he was celebrated as a hero. He often thought fondly of the enchanted lantern and the village of Luminera, where his journey had begun. The lantern remained in Grandma Esme's cottage, its light still shining brightly for those who sought guidance. The story of Prince Leo and the enchanted lantern became a beloved legend in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic of a guiding light. And so, the village of Luminera continued to glow with the light of hope and adventure, ever ready to illuminate the path for those who ventured into the forest in search of their own dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in the heart of the Whispering Forest, there lay a small, enchanted village called Elderglen. This village was renowned for its harmony with nature and its mysterious, magical tree known as the Elder Tree. The Elder Tree was said to be as old as time itself, and its leaves were rumored to hold the power to grant one wish to a person of true heart. In Elderglen lived a young boy named Finn, who was known for his adventurous spirit and boundless curiosity. Finn had always been fascinated by the Elder Tree and the stories of its magical leaves. His best friend was a wise old turtle named Tilly, who had lived in the forest longer than anyone could remember and knew many of its secrets. One crisp autumn morning, Finn and Tilly set out to visit the Elder Tree, hoping to learn more about its magic. As they walked through the forest, they noticed that the usual glow of the Elder Tree was dimmer than usual, and its leaves seemed to be losing their vibrant color. When they reached the Elder Tree, they found a note tied to one of its branches. The note read, "To restore the magic of the Elder Tree, you must complete 3 tasks. Only those with a brave heart, a clever mind, and a caring spirit will succeed." Determined to help, Finn and Tilly prepared for the first task, the trial of courage. They ventured into a misty part of the forest known as the Shadow Glen. Here, the mist was thick and dark, and eerie whispers filled the air. They needed to retrieve a glowing crystal from the center of the glen. As they moved deeper into the mist, strange shapes and sounds seemed to surround them. Finn felt a shiver run down his spine, but with Tilly's steady presence beside him, he pressed on. They found the crystal, protected by a harmless illusion of shadows. Finn carefully collected the crystal, proving his bravery. The second task was the trial of wisdom. They were led to a hidden glade with a large stone tablet covered in ancient symbols. The symbols seemed to change and shift. Tilly, with his vast knowledge of the forest, helped decipher the symbols, revealing a riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Finn thought carefully and answered, a fire. The stone tablet glowed warmly, and a path was revealed, leading them to the next task. The final task was the trial of compassion. They arrived at a grove where a family of small, magical creatures called luminets was in distress. Their home, a beautiful, glowing burrow, had been damaged, and the luminets needed help to repair it. Finn and Tilly worked together to gather materials and fix the burrow. Finn used his hands to carefully rebuild the entrance, while Tilly used his strength to secure the structure. The luminets, grateful for their help, were soon able to restore their home and their glowing light. With all three tasks completed, the elder tree's glow began to return. The leaves shimmered with a vibrant light, and the tree's magic was restored. Finn and Tilly stood beneath the elder tree as its leaves fell gently around them, each one sparkling with the magic of their journey. Finn looked up at the elder tree and made his wish. I wish for Elderglen to always remain a place of harmony and wonder, where magic and nature are cherished. The elder tree's magic enveloped the village, ensuring its continued prosperity and enchantment. The villagers celebrated Finn and Tilly's bravery, wisdom, and compassion with a grand feast. The elder tree stood proudly at the heart of Elderglen, a symbol of the village's spirit and magic. And so, Elderglen thrived under the care of its people, and the legend of Finn and the elder tree became a cherished tale, passed down through generations. The end. In a land where rolling meadows met sparkling rivers and towering mountains, there was a village called Celestia. The village was renowned for its breathtaking skies, painted every day by an unseen artist who colored the clouds with stunning hues. No one knew who this artist was, but their work brought joy to all who saw it. The village was home to a young girl named Eloan, whose dreams were as vibrant as the skies she admired. Eloan loved to watch the clouds change colors at sunrise and sunset, and she often imagined herself as the artist behind the magical transformations. One afternoon, while exploring the edge of the forest, Eloan stumbled upon an old, dusty book half buried under a pile of leaves. She picked it up and brushed off the dirt, revealing a cover adorned with intricate patterns and a shimmering title, The Secrets of the Cloud Painter. Excited, Eloan opened the book and began to read. The book spoke of a legendary cloud painter who used enchanted paintbrushes to create the most beautiful skies. The painter had vanished long ago, leaving only the magical brushes behind. According to the book, the brushes were hidden in the heart of the enchanted forest, guarded by a series of mystical challenges. Determined to uncover the truth, Eloan set out on a quest to find the enchanted brushes. She ventured into the enchanted forest, which was known for its magical creatures and mysterious paths. Her first challenge was to find the glowing brook, said to be the source of the magical paint used by the cloud painter. After hours of searching, Eloan stumbled upon a brook that shimmered with a soft, golden light. As she knelt by the water, she saw that the brook was filled with tiny, sparkling fish that seemed to dance in the light. A wise old turtle appeared from the depths and spoke to her. To find what you seek, you must answer this question, the turtle said. What is both a guide and a companion, always present but never seen? Eloan thought for a moment and then answered, a shadow. The turtle nodded and revealed a hidden path behind the brook. Eloan followed the path, which led her to a large, ancient tree with a door carved into its trunk. Inside the tree was a cozy room filled with soft, glowing lanterns and shelves of beautiful paintbrushes. But only one brush was enchanted, the one with a handle made of shimmering silver and bristles that seemed to sparkle with every color of the rainbow. Eloan carefully picked up the enchanted brush and felt a rush of excitement. As she turned to leave, a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. "You have found the first brush, but there are still 2 more challenges to overcome." Eloan was determined and continued her journey. The next challenge led her to the misty meadow, where she needed to find the luminous flower, which bloomed only in the light of the full moon. The meadow was filled with mist and ethereal light, and Eloan had to navigate through a maze of shimmering fog. At the heart of the meadow, Eloan found the luminous flower, its petals glowing softly in the moonlight. As she approached, a beautiful fairy appeared and handed her a vial filled with moonlight. "Use this vial to reveal the true colors of the enchanted brush," the fairy said. "But remember, true beauty comes from the heart." With the vial in hand, Eloan made her way to the final challenge, the Summit of Stars. At the summit, she found a canvas stretched across a massive stone frame, waiting to be painted. The night sky above was filled with twinkling stars, and Eloan knew this was where she would use the enchanted brush. As she began to paint, the brush danced across the canvas, creating mesmerizing patterns and colors that mirrored the night sky. The moonlight from the vial infused the paint with a magical glow, and the canvas came to life with swirling constellations and vivid hues. Suddenly, a soft, warm light enveloped Eloan, and a figure appeared before her, a radiant spirit with a flowing robe and a crown of stars. The spirit was the Cloud Painter, who had been watching Eloan's journey. "You have shown great courage, creativity, and a pure heart," the spirit said. "The enchanted brushes are now yours to use. Paint the skies with your own unique colors and let your imagination soar." With the blessing of the Cloud Painter, Eloan returned to Celestia, her heart brimming with joy and excitement. She began to paint the skies, creating dazzling sunrises and breathtaking sunsets that captivated the villagers. Each day, the clouds took on new and magical forms, reflecting Eloan's boundless creativity. The villagers marveled at the ever-changing skies, and Eloan's art became a cherished part of Celestia's daily life. The village thrived under the radiant skies, and the story of Eloan's adventure and the magical brushes was told and retold through generations. And so, Eloan's dreams became a reality, and the skies of Celestia continued to sparkle with the colors of her imagination, reminding everyone that true magic is created with a heart full of wonder and creativity. The enchanted lantern. In a cozy village surrounded by rolling hills and dense woods, there was an old, weathered lantern shop owned by a kind-hearted man named Cedric. Cedric was known for crafting lanterns that could light up even the darkest night, but there was one lantern in his collection that was especially unique, the enchanted lantern. The enchanted lantern was said to hold a magical glow that could reveal hidden truths and grant wishes. However, it had been gathering dust in the shop for years because no one truly believed in its magic anymore. A mysterious visitor. One chilly autumn evening, as the leaves rustled in the breeze, a mysterious visitor entered the shop. She was a young woman with a cloak that seemed to shimmer with the colors of twilight. Her eyes sparkled with a mix of curiosity and determination. Her name was Elara. Elara had heard whispers of the enchanted lantern and its legendary powers. She had come to find it, hoping it could help her find her missing brother, who had disappeared while on an adventurous quest. Cedric welcomed Elara and, sensing her earnestness, led her to the enchanted lantern. The lantern was covered with a delicate layer of dust, and its light seemed to flicker weakly. Cedric handed it to Elara, explaining its lore. This lantern is said to reveal hidden truths and guide those who are lost. But its magic is only awakened by those with a pure heart and a true purpose. The lantern's glow. Elara took the lantern and, with a hopeful heart, made her way to the edge of the village where the dark woods began. As the lantern's glow illuminated the path, Elara felt a sense of calm wash over her. The woods seemed to part before her, revealing a hidden trail that she had never noticed before. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the lantern's light grew brighter, casting a warm, golden hue on the surroundings. The trees, once ominous, now seemed to guide her with their gentle whispers. Elara followed the light, feeling a sense of connection to the lantern and its magic. The hidden grove. After a while, Elara arrived at a secluded grove bathed in moonlight. In the center of the grove was a small, crystal-clear pond. The lantern's light danced on the water's surface, revealing a hidden message written in glowing letters: "To find what you seek, look within the heart of the forest." Elara understood that the heart of the forest was not a physical place but a metaphorical one. She closed her eyes and focused on the memories of her brother and their shared adventures. As she did, the lantern's light began to pulse gently, guiding her to a hidden entrance beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree. The lost brother Elara carefully crawled through the entrance and found herself in a dimly lit cavern. At the far end of the cavern, lying on a bed of soft moss, was her brother, Liam. He was unconscious but seemed to be resting peacefully. Elara's heart swelled with relief and joy. She knelt beside him and gently shook him awake. Liam opened his eyes, and upon seeing Elara, he smiled weakly. "I knew you would find me," he whispered. Elara helped her brother to his feet, and they made their way back to the lantern. As they emerged from the forest, the lantern's light seemed to shine even brighter, reflecting their happiness and the strength of their bond. A new beginning back in the village, Cedric welcomed them with open arms. Elara thanked him for his help and shared the story of the enchanted lantern and its magic. The villagers were amazed, and the lantern's legend was revived. Elara and Liam decided to use their experience to help others. They traveled to distant lands, seeking out those who were lost or in need of guidance. With the lantern's magic, they brought hope and healing to many. Cedric's shop became a place of wonder and inspiration, attracting visitors who wished to learn about the magic of the enchanted lantern. And though the lantern continued to glow softly in the shop, its true power was found in the hearts of those who believed in its magic and used it to make a difference in the world. The story of Elara and the enchanted lantern was told for generations, reminding everyone that the greatest magic lies in the love and courage we carry within ourselves. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled between rolling green hills and the sparkling river, there was a young girl named Arya. Arya lived with her father, a humble woodworker, in a cozy cottage at the edge of the village. Though they were not wealthy, their lives were filled with love and music, as Arya had inherited her late mother's talent for playing the violin. Arya's violin was special. It had been crafted by her mother and was said to have an enchantment that could move hearts and even change the world. The village of Harmonyville was named after its love for music, and every evening, Arya would play her violin in the village square, bringing joy and peace to everyone who heard her. One evening, as Arya played a particularly beautiful melody, a mysterious old man with a long, flowing beard and kind eyes approached her. He listened intently until she finished and then introduced himself as Maestro, the guardian of musical magic. "Arya," Maestro said in a voice as smooth as velvet, "your music holds great power, but the enchantment within your violin has faded over time. To restore its full magic, you must embark on a journey to the enchanted grove and find the melody of the stars. Only then will your music reach its true potential." Determined to restore the magic of her violin, Arya set out on her journey the next morning. Maestro gave her a map that would guide her through the whispering forest to the enchanted grove. With a heart full of hope and a satchel packed with essentials, Arya ventured into the forest. As she walked along the winding paths, Arya encountered a talking bluebird named Lyric, who offered to guide her through the densest part of the forest. Lyric's cheerful psalms kept Arya's spirits high as they made their way to the first challenge, a riddle posed by an ancient oak tree named Elderwood. "To continue your journey," Elderwood said in a deep, resonant voice, "you must solve my riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Arya thought carefully and then replied, "An echo." Elderwood's branches rustled in approval, and he revealed a hidden path that led to a shimmering lake where a graceful swan named Serenade awaited her. "To cross this lake," Serenade said, "you must prove your courage. Beneath the water lies a sunken treasure chest containing a golden key. Dive deep and retrieve the key, and I will ferry you across." Without hesitation, Arya dove into the clear, cool water. She swam down to the lake bed, where she found the treasure chest. Opening it, she retrieved the golden key and swam back to the surface. Serenade, impressed by her bravery, transformed into a beautiful boat and ferried Arya across the lake. On the other side of the lake, Arya entered the enchanted grove, where the air was filled with the soft hum of magical melodies. In the center of the grove stood a pedestal with a celestial lyre, its strings glowing with the light of 1,000 stars. This was the melody of the stars that Maestro had spoken of. As Arya approached the lyre, a gentle voice filled the grove. To restore your violin's magic, you must play a melody that comes from the depths of your heart. Only true emotion can awaken the lyre's power. Arya took her violin and began to play a tune that spoke of her love for her father, her late mother, and the joy that music brought to her village. As she played, the strings of the celestial lyre resonated with her violin, creating a harmony so beautiful that it brought tears to her eyes. A brilliant light enveloped the grove, and Arya felt the magic of the melody of the stars flow into her violin. When the light faded, she knew that her violin's enchantment had been restored. With her heart full of gratitude, Arya returned to Harmonyville. That evening, she played her violin in the village square, and the music was more enchanting than ever before. The villagers felt a profound sense of peace and happiness, and even the stars seemed to twinkle in time with her melody. Maestro appeared once more, smiling warmly. "You have done well, Arya. Your music now holds the magic to bring joy and healing to all who hear it. Remember, the true magic lies within your heart." From that day on, Arya's music became legendary, and Harmonyville flourished under the spell of her enchanting melodies. Her story was passed down through generations, a testament to the power of music and the magic that can be found in a kind and courageous heart. And so, Arya and her enchanted violin continued to bring harmony to the world, their music a beacon of hope and joy for all who listened. Once upon a time, in a lush, green kingdom bordered by sparkling rivers and towering mountains, there was a small village called Willowbrook. This village was renowned for its beautiful gardens and the vibrant flowers that bloomed all year round. But Willowbrook had one peculiar thing. It was said that if you were truly pure of heart, you could speak to the flowers and they would share their wisdom with you. In this village lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her kindness and bravery. She had a special gift. She could make even the most stubborn flower bloom with just a gentle touch and a warm smile. Her greatest wish was to learn the secret to the legendary everlasting blossom, a flower believed to grant a single wish to anyone who found it. One morning, as Elara watered the garden, an old woman appeared at the edge of the village. Her clothes were tattered, and she carried a staff that seemed to be as ancient as time itself. She approached Elara and said, "Young girl, I have heard of your pure heart and your quest for the everlasting blossom. I may know where it can be found, but it is a journey fraught with challenges. Will you undertake it?" Without hesitation, Elara agreed. The old woman handed her a delicate silver pendant and said, "This pendant will guide you. Follow it, and it will lead you to the flower, but remember, true courage is not the absence of fear but the strength to overcome it." With the pendant clutched tightly in her hand, Elara set off on her journey. The path was long and winding, taking her through dark forests and over steep hills. Along the way, she encountered various creatures, a mischievous fox, a wise old owl, and a gentle deer, each of whom gave her clues and encouragement. As Elara ventured deeper into the forest, the pendant began to glow, leading her to a hidden cave. Inside the cave, she found a shimmering lake surrounded by glowing mushrooms. At the center of the lake was a small island with the everlasting blossom, its petals radiating a soft, golden light. However, guarding the flower was a fearsome dragon. Its scales sparkled like emeralds, and its eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. Elara felt a shiver run down her spine, but she remembered the old woman's words. Summoning all her courage, she approached the dragon and said, "I seek the everlasting blossom not for myself but to help my village and bring peace to the land. I ask for your blessing." The dragon, surprised by her sincerity, said, "Bravery comes in many forms, but true bravery is shown by selflessness. You have proven yourself worthy. The flower is yours." With the dragon's blessing, Elara carefully took the everlasting blossom and made her way back to Willowbrook. The village celebrated her return with joy and gratitude. Elara made her wish for the prosperity and happiness of everyone in the kingdom, and the flower's magic spread throughout the land, bringing an era of peace and harmony. And so, the legend of the everlasting blossom lived on, and Alara's bravery and kindness became a cherished story told to children for generations. The village of Willowbrook thrived, and the flowers continued to bloom, whispering their secrets to those who listened with pure hearts. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a charming village called Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and the shimmering lake, there lived a young girl named Alara. Willowbrook was known for its vibrant gardens, cheerful festivals, and the legendary tale of the enchanted key. It was said that this key had the power to unlock a hidden realm of magic and wonder, but it had been lost for generations. Alara, an adventurous and kind-hearted girl, had always been fascinated by the tales of the enchanted key. Her grandmother often told her stories of the key's magic and the adventures of those who sought it. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Alara stumbled upon an old, dusty chest. Inside, she found a weathered map with strange symbols and a note that read, "To find the enchanted key, follow the path of stars." Excited by the discovery, Alara decided to follow the map's directions. That night, under a sky full of twinkling stars, she set out on her quest. The map led her to the edge of a mysterious forest known as the Twilight Woods, a place where the trees seemed to whisper secrets and the moonlight danced upon the ground. As Alara ventured into the forest, she encountered a talking owl perched on a low branch. "Greetings, young traveler," the owl hooted. "To proceed, you must pass 3 trials. Only then will you find the enchanted key." Alara, undeterred by the challenge, agreed to the owl's terms. The first trial was to cross a bridge guarded by a mischievous troll. The troll, with a gruff voice and a long, tangled beard, blocked the way. "Answer my riddle," the troll demanded, "or you shall never cross my bridge. What has keys but cannot open locks?" Alara thought carefully and then answered, "A piano." The troll grumbled but allowed Alara to pass. As she continued on her journey, she reached a sparkling river where a gentle mermaid named Lyra awaited her. To move forward, Lyra said, "You must help me retrieve a lost pearl from the riverbed. The pearl holds the light of the moon, and only with it can you find your way." Alara dove into the cool, clear water and found the pearl nestled among the reeds. She returned it to Lyra, who rewarded her with a shimmering seashell that would guide her through the forest. With the seashell in hand, Alara followed its soft glow deeper into the twilight woods. The final trial awaited her at the heart of the forest, where a magnificent, ancient tree stood. The tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. To complete the final trial, the tree said, "You must show your true heart. Plant this seed, and if your intentions are pure, it will grow into the path you seek." Alara took the seed and carefully planted it in the rich, fertile soil. She watered it with a single drop from her water bottle and watched as it began to sprout. The sprout grew rapidly, forming a radiant path of flowers that led to a hidden glade. At the center of the glade was a pedestal, and upon it rested the enchanted key, glowing with a soft, golden light. Alara approached the key with reverence and gently lifted it. As she did, a magical aura enveloped the glade, and the forest seemed to come alive with a gentle hum. The talking owl, Lyra, and the ancient tree appeared to congratulate Alara. "You have completed the trials with courage, kindness, and a pure heart," the owl said. "The enchanted key is yours to keep, and its magic will bring joy and wonder to all who believe." Alara returned to Willowbrook, her heart full of joy and her hands holding the enchanted key. The villagers marveled at her bravery and the key's magic. Alara used the key to unlock a hidden chamber beneath the village square, revealing a treasure trove of ancient artifacts and magical wonders. The village of Willowbrook flourished under the enchantment of the key, and Alara's adventure became a cherished tale told through generations. The enchanted key's magic continued to inspire and delight the villagers, reminding them that true magic lies in the courage and purity of one's heart. And so, the village thrived, and Alara's story was passed down through the ages, a testament to the magic that exists within us all and the adventures that await those who seek them with a kind heart. Once upon a time, in the heart of a misty forest, there was a quaint village named Luminera. The village was known for its vibrant gardens and shimmering streams, but it had one unique treasure, a magical lantern that was said to light the way for anyone who was lost or in need. The lantern was housed in the village's oldest cottage, which belonged to an elderly woman named Grandma Esme. She was known throughout the land for her kindness and wisdom. The lantern was a family heirloom, passed down through generations, and its soft, golden glow was believed to have the power to reveal hidden truths and guide people through their darkest hours. One day, the village was visited by a young prince named Leo from the neighboring kingdom of Eldoria. He had heard tales of the enchanted lantern and was intrigued by its magic. The prince was on a quest to find a rare and precious flower known as the moon blossom, which only bloomed once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. The moon blossom had the power to cure his kingdom's ailing land. Grandma Esme welcomed Prince Leo warmly and listened to his tale. "The moon blossom is indeed a rare flower," she said, "and its blooming is a sight to behold. However, finding it requires more than just luck. It requires a heart that is pure and intentions that are true." The prince, determined to help his kingdom, asked Grandma Esme if she would lend him the enchanted lantern to aid in his quest. She agreed, but only if Leo promised to return it once his mission was complete, for the lantern held great significance to her family. With the lantern in hand, Prince Leo set out into the forest under the light of the full moon. The lantern's warm glow guided his path through the tangled woods and winding streams. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various challenges: swift rivers, steep cliffs, and dense thickets. Yet, the lantern's light always found a way to show him the safest path forward. During his journey, Leo came across a small, mysterious creature, a talking fox named Finn. Finn had a coat of shimmering silver and eyes that sparkled with curiosity. "Why are you traveling so far into the forest?" Finn asked. "I am searching for the moon blossom," Prince Leo explained. "It is said to bloom only under the full moon, and I need it to save my kingdom." Finn's eyes widened with understanding. "I know where the moon blossom blooms, but it's a dangerous path. The lantern's light will help you, but you must also have a brave heart and a clear mind." Grateful for Finn's help, Leo followed him through the forest. The two of them faced many trials, from crossing rickety bridges to outsmarting mischievous sprites. With the lantern's guidance and Finn's assistance, they finally reached a secluded glade bathed in moonlight. In the center of the glade was a majestic flower, the moon blossom. Its petals glowed with an ethereal light, and its fragrance filled the air with a sense of peace and hope. Prince Leo carefully collected the moon blossom and thanked Finn for his guidance. As he turned to leave, he noticed that the lantern's light was growing dim. The enchantment that had guided him was fading, and the path back seemed uncertain. Leo realized that he needed to return the lantern to Grandma Esme, as promised. With the moon blossom secured, Leo made his way back to the village. The journey was still challenging, but the memories of his adventure and his commitment to his kingdom's welfare kept him steady. Upon returning the lantern to Grandma Esme, he presented her with the moon blossom. "You have fulfilled your promise," Grandma Esme said, smiling. "And you have shown great courage and purity of heart. The lantern will continue to guide those in need, and the moon blossom will heal your kingdom." Prince Leo returned to Eldoria, where the moon blossom was used to restore the land to its former glory. His kingdom thrived once more, and he was celebrated as a hero. He often thought fondly of the enchanted lantern in the village of Luminera, where his journey had begun. The lantern remained in Grandma Esme's cottage, its light still shining brightly for those who sought guidance. The story of Prince Leo and the enchanted lantern became a beloved legend in Luminera, reminding everyone of the power of bravery, kindness, and the magic of a guiding light. And so, the village of Luminera continued to glow with the light of hope and adventure, ever ready to illuminate the path for those who ventured into the forest in search of their own dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village bordered by dense forests and sparkling lakes, there was a small shop run by a kind-hearted old man named Tobias. Tobias was known for crafting beautiful wooden toys and trinkets, but his most prized possession was an old, intricately carved music box. The music box had been passed down through generations and was said to have magical properties. The music box was adorned with delicate carvings of dancing figures and tiny stars. When opened, it played a hauntingly beautiful melody that could captivate anyone who heard it. Tobias kept it hidden away, believing it was too precious to be sold. In the same village lived a young girl named Ilara. Ilara was known for her curiosity and her love for music. She often wandered through the village, listening to the songs of birds and the rustling leaves. One day, while visiting Tobias's shop, Ilara spotted the music box and was instantly enchanted by its beauty. "Why don't you play it?" Ilara asked Tobias, her eyes wide with wonder. Tobias smiled gently. "Ah, this music box is very special. It plays a melody that can only be heard by those with a true heart. It has a magic that's meant for a special purpose." Ilara's curiosity grew stronger. She couldn't stop thinking about the music box and the magical melody it might hold. One evening, as the moon rose high in the sky, Ilara found herself at Tobias's shop again. The shop was closed, but she noticed a faint light coming from inside. She peeked through the window and saw the music box glowing softly. Unable to resist, Ilara gently opened the door and stepped inside. The music box sat on the counter, bathed in moonlight. As she approached it, the box began to play its enchanting melody. Ilara felt a strange, comforting warmth fill her heart. Suddenly, the room seemed to shimmer, and a gentle, shimmering fairy appeared. The fairy had delicate wings and a kind, serene expression. "Greetings, Ilara," the fairy said with a soft voice. "I am Seraphina, the guardian of the music box. You have a pure heart and a deep love for music. The box's magic has chosen you." Ilara's eyes widened. "What is the magic of the music box?" Seraphina smiled. "The music box holds the power to bring joy and healing to those in need. But to unlock its full magic, you must use its melody to help someone who is truly in need of hope." Ilara nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. She left the shop with the music box, determined to find someone who needed its magic. As she walked through the village, she noticed a small, rundown cottage on the edge of town. Inside, she saw an elderly woman sitting by a window, her face etched with sadness. Ilara hesitated for a moment but then decided to knock on the door. The elderly woman, whose name was Agnes, answered with a warm but weary smile. "Hello, Miss Agnes," Ilara said gently. "I have something that might bring you some joy." She opened the music box and let the melody fill the room. As the enchanting music played, Agnes's eyes filled with tears of joy. The melody seemed to lift her spirits and bring a sense of peace to her heart. She began to share stories of her younger days, her face lighting up with happiness. Ilara sat with Agnes, listening to her stories and sharing in her joy. The magic of the music box brought comfort and renewed hope to Agnes, who had been feeling lonely and forgotten. Days turned into weeks, and the village began to notice a change in Agnes. Her cottage was soon filled with laughter and light, and she became more active in the community. The music box's melody had not only brightened her days but had also inspired the villagers to come together and support one another. Ilara continued to use the music box's magic, visiting those who needed comfort and joy. The village flourished as the spirit of kindness and unity spread through the community. The music box's melody became a symbol of hope and connection, reminding everyone of the power of compassion. One evening, as the sun set and the stars began to twinkle, Seraphina appeared once more. "You have used the music box's magic with a true heart, Ilara. Your kindness has brought great joy to many. The box's magic will continue to shine through you." With a grateful heart, Ilara thanked Seraphina and returned the music box to Tobias's shop. The magic of the box had fulfilled its purpose, and its melody would always remind the villagers of the power of kindness and love. And so, under the starry night sky, Ilara and the village lived happily ever after, their hearts touched by the enchanting music box and the magic it had brought into their lives. The end. The enchanted orchard. In a valley surrounded by misty hills and rolling meadows, there was an enchanted orchard known as Whispering Grove. The orchard was famous for its magical fruits, which could grant a single wish to anyone who ate them. However, the orchard was protected by a wise and kind guardian named Eloan, an elderly woman with a heart full of magic and a deep connection to the land. Iloan had tended to the orchard for many years, nurturing the trees and ensuring that their magic was used wisely. The orchard was a place of serenity and beauty, with trees that bore glowing fruits of all colors, from shimmering gold to deep, rich blue. A young dreamer one day, a young girl named Mira came to the valley. Mira was known for her boundless imagination and kind heart. She had heard tales of the enchanted orchard and had come with a hopeful heart and a single wish, to help her ailing village, which had been suffering from a harsh drought. As Mira wandered through the orchard, she marveled at the magical fruits hanging from the trees. Her eyes were drawn to a particularly radiant fruit, a pear that seemed to glow with a soft, silvery light. She reached out to touch it, but just as her fingers brushed the pear, Iloan appeared before her. The guardian's wisdom. Iloan smiled warmly and said, "Welcome to Whispering Grove, Mira. I see you are drawn to the pear of wishes. It is the most powerful fruit of the orchard, but its magic must be used with great care." Mira explained her village's plight and her wish to bring rain to end the drought. Iloan listened thoughtfully and nodded. "Your heart is pure, and your wish is noble. I will grant you this pear, but remember, the true magic lies not just in the fruit, but in the intention behind your wish." Iloan handed Mira the pear, and as Mira held it, she could feel a gentle warmth radiating from it. She thanked Iloan and made her way back to her village, clutching the pear tightly. The journey back to the village was long and arduous. Mira faced many challenges along the way, from steep hills to treacherous paths, but her determination never wavered. The thought of helping her village kept her going. When she finally arrived, the villagers gathered around her, their faces etched with hope and curiosity. Mira held up the pear, its glow brightening the dim, dry landscape. With a deep breath, she made her wish aloud, "I wish for rain to fall upon our village and end this drought." A magical rain. As soon as Mira finished speaking, the pear's glow intensified, and a soft, shimmering mist began to rise from it. The mist spread across the village, and dark clouds began to form in the sky. Within moments, the heavens opened up, and a gentle, nourishing rain began to fall. The villagers cheered and danced in the rain, their spirits lifted by the long-awaited downpour. The fields and gardens, once parched and barren, began to soak up the precious water. Flowers bloomed, and the once dry landscape transformed into a lush, green paradise. Mira watched with tears of joy as her village flourished. She knew that while the pear had granted her wish, it was the collective hope and hard work of the villagers that had made it possible. The gift of the orchard. As the rain continued, Iloan appeared once more in the village. She praised Mira for her bravery and selflessness. "You have used the magic wisely and with a pure heart. Whispering Grove will always be here for those who seek to make the world a better place." Iloan gifted Mira a small sapling from the orchard, saying, "Plant this sapling in your village. It will grow into a tree that bears fruit filled with the same magic as the pear of wishes. And remember, the greatest magic comes from the kindness and courage within you." Mira planted the sapling in the center of the village, where it quickly took root and began to grow. The villagers continued to care for it, and it flourished into a magnificent tree, providing them with hope and inspiration. A lasting legacy. The tale of Mira and the enchanted orchard spread far and wide, becoming a cherished legend. Whispering Grove remained a place of magic and wonder, where dreams and wishes were nurtured by the heart's true desires. And Mira, the girl with a pure heart, became a symbol of hope and courage. Her village thrived, and the magic of the orchard continued to inspire those who sought to make a difference in the world. Once upon a time, in a charming little village surrounded by rolling green hills, there was a curious shop known as Whispers of Wonder. The shop was owned by an old woman named Alara, who was renowned for her collection of magical artifacts and whimsical curiosities. Among the many treasures in her shop was an exquisite music box made of polished wood and adorned with intricate carvings of stars and flowers. This music box was said to be enchanted, though no one knew its true power. In this village lived a kind-hearted boy named Finn. Finn was known for his adventurous spirit and his love of music. He often played his flute by the river and dreamt of discovering magical places. One day, while exploring Whispers of Wonder, Finn was drawn to the music box. The soft, melodic tune it played was both soothing and enchanting. Ilara noticed Finn's fascination and smiled warmly. "Ah, the music box," she said. "It's a very special piece. It's said that whoever listens to its melody will find their heart's deepest wish." Finn's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Do you really believe that?" he asked. Ilara nodded. "I do. But remember, magic often requires belief and courage." That evening, Finn sat by the river, listening to the music box's tune. As he listened, he thought about his deepest wish, to find a place where music could be heard and shared by everyone, a place where dreams and melodies intertwined. He wished for a magical realm where music brought people together and filled their hearts with joy. The next morning, Finn awoke to find the music box glowing softly. A note appeared, written in shimmering ink: "Follow the melody to find your heart's desire." Excited and determined, Finn set out on a journey guided by the music box's melody. He ventured into the forest, where the trees seemed to sway in rhythm with the tune. The path led him to a hidden glen, bathed in a warm, golden light. In the center of the glen stood a magnificent tree, its branches adorned with glowing musical notes. As Finn approached the tree, he heard the music box's melody growing louder. Suddenly, the tree's bark parted to reveal a shimmering door. Without hesitation, Finn stepped through the door and found himself in a magical realm known as Harmonia. Harmonia was a land where music and magic flourished. The skies were filled with colorful musical notes, and the air was alive with harmonious melodies. Enchanted creatures played instruments, and magical beings danced gracefully, their movements creating beautiful symphonies. Finn marveled at the sight, and as he wandered through Harmonia, he came across a grand concert hall where a magnificent orchestra was playing. The music was unlike anything he had ever heard, uplifting, joyful, and full of wonder. The audience, a diverse mix of magical beings and creatures, was captivated by the performance. At the end of the concert, the conductor, a wise and graceful being named Lyra, noticed Finn. She approached him with a warm smile. "Welcome to Harmonia," she said. "I see you've discovered our world. What brings you here?" Finn explained his wish for a place where music could bring people together. Lyra listened attentively and nodded. "You found the very heart of Harmonia. Here, music has the power to unite, heal, and inspire. But our realm is in need of a special gift, a new melody that will bring hope and joy to everyone." Lyra handed Finn a magical baton, adorned with sparkling gems. "Will you help us create this melody?" Honored, Finn accepted the baton and joined the orchestra. He poured his heart into composing a new piece, drawing inspiration from the beauty of Harmonia and the melodies he had heard. The music flowed from his soul, creating a melody that was both moving and uplifting. As the orchestra played Finn's composition, a magical aura enveloped Harmonia. The melodies resonated through the land, bringing harmony and joy to every corner of the realm. The magical beings rejoiced, and Finn felt a deep sense of fulfillment. With the melody complete, Lyra thanked Finn for his gift and presented him with a special token, a silver music note pendant. "This will remind you of the magic of Harmonia and the power of music. Whenever you play your flute, remember that you have the ability to inspire and bring joy to others." Finn returned to his village, carrying the pendant in a heart full of newfound inspiration. He shared the magical music he had created with the villagers, and soon, the village was filled with joyous music and laughter. The villagers gathered regularly to share melodies and stories, and the village became a place where music truly brought people together. And so, Finn's wish had come true. The music box's magic had led him to Harmonia and back, where he had discovered the power of music to unite hearts and create joy. The village thrived with the spirit of harmony and song, and Finn's adventure became a beloved tale of wonder and magic. And under the twinkling stars and the gentle melodies of the night, the village and its inhabitants lived happily ever after, their hearts forever touched by the magic of the enchanted music box. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled beside a vast and enchanting forest, there was a small cottage that belonged to an elderly woman named Granny Willow. Granny Willow was renowned for her kindness and her extraordinary collection of lanterns. Each lantern was unique, but none was as special as the firefly lantern that hung in her front window. This lantern was said to glow with the light of 1,000 fireflies and was believed to have magical powers. The village children often visited Granny Willow to hear her stories and marvel at her lanterns. Among them was a brave and curious girl named Lila. She was fascinated by the firefly lantern and often dreamed of discovering its secrets. Granny Willow, seeing Lila's fascination, shared that the lantern had once belonged to a legendary hero who had used its magic to protect the forest and its creatures. One day, a mysterious darkness began to spread through the forest. The once vibrant trees and glowing flowers dimmed, and a chill crept into the air. The villagers were worried, for they knew that the forest's magic was essential to their well-being. Granny Willow, sensing the urgency, called Lila to her cottage. Lila, the firefly lantern holds the key to restoring the forest's light. But to unlock its magic, you must undertake a quest to find the source of the darkness and bring back the heart of the forest. Lila's eyes sparkled with determination. I will do it, Granny Willow. I promise I'll restore the forest's light. Armed with the firefly lantern and a small satchel of supplies, Lila set off towards the forest. The darkness seemed to grow thicker with each step, and the familiar paths became difficult to navigate. But the firefly lantern glowed softly, guiding her way with its gentle light. Lila followed a winding trail through the forest until she reached the Whispering Glade, a magical clearing known for its serene beauty. But now, the glade was shrouded in gloom. In the center of the glade stood an ancient, twisted tree with gnarled branches. At the base of the tree was a dark, swirling vortex of shadows. Lila approached the tree cautiously. As she did, a soft, sorrowful voice echoed through the glade. Who dares to disturb the heart of the forest? Lila looked around and saw a graceful, ethereal figure emerging from the shadows, a guardian spirit of the forest. The spirit's eyes were filled with sadness. The heart of the forest is imprisoned within this tree, and the darkness you see is the result of a powerful curse. Only the pure of heart can break the curse. Lila took a deep breath and spoke with confidence. I am here to help. How can I break the curse and restore the forest's light? The spirit explained that to break the curse, Lila needed to retrieve 3 magical items scattered throughout the forest: the moonlit feather, the sunstone, and the dewdrop petal. These items represented the balance of light and needed to be placed on the ancient tree to lift the curse. Lila set off on her quest, starting with the moonlit feather. She ventured to the highest peak of the forest where the moonlit owl lived. The owl, with its shimmering feathers, agreed to give Lila the feather in exchange for a psalm. Lila sang a beautiful, heartfelt tune, and the owl rewarded her with a glowing feather. Next, Lila sought the sunstone, hidden in a sunlit grove guarded by a mischievous squirrel. The squirrel agreed to give her the stone if she could solve a riddle. Lila listened carefully and answered the riddle correctly, earning the sunstone's brilliant glow. For the final item, Lila journeyed to the dewdrop meadow, where she found the dewdrop petal resting upon a silver leaf. The petal was protected by a gentle, sparkling stream. Using the firefly lantern's light to reveal the hidden path, Lila carefully retrieved the petal without disturbing the delicate ecosystem. With all 3 magical items in hand, Lila returned to the Whispering Glade. She approached the ancient tree and placed the moonlit feather, sunstone, and dewdrop petal on its base. As she did, the firefly lantern's light grew brighter, and a warm, golden glow began to spread through the glade. The darkness began to recede, and the curse was lifted. The ancient tree's branches unfurled, and the heart of the forest, an iridescent crystal, was revealed. The crystal pulsed with a vibrant light, and the forest came alive once more. The flowers bloomed, the trees glowed, and the creatures of the forest celebrated the return of the light. Lila returned to the village as a hero, the firefly lantern still glowing with its magical light. Granny Willow and the villagers welcomed her with joy and gratitude. The forest was restored, and the firefly lantern became a symbol of hope and courage. And so, the village of Evergreen thrived once more, forever grateful to the brave girl who had restored the light to their enchanted forest. Once upon a time, in a lush, green kingdom where the rivers sang and the trees whispered secrets, there was a quaint little village named Willowbrook. This village was home to many extraordinary creatures, but the most remarkable of all was a gentle, wise old tortoise named Tiberius. Tiberius was not just any tortoise, he was the keeper of ancient stories and the guardian of the village's greatest treasure, a magical locket that granted a single wish to whoever possessed it. The locket was kept in a hidden glen at the edge of the enchanted forest, safe from those who might misuse its power. One bright, crisp morning, a curious young girl named Eliza stumbled upon Tiberius while exploring the village. Eliza had always been enchanted by tales of magic and wonder. She had heard whispers of Tiberius's wisdom and the legendary locket but had never seen them with her own eyes. Tiberius, seeing the wonder in Eliza's eyes, decided to share a story. Many years ago, he began, his voice like the rustle of autumn leaves. This village was threatened by a terrible dragon. The dragon demanded a tribute from the villagers every year, and the villagers were growing weary of the constant fear. Eliza's eyes widened. What happened? Well, Tiberius continued, a brave knight named Sir Cedric came to Willowbrook. He was not only skilled with a sword but also known for his kind heart. Sir Cedric sought the locket's help to defeat the dragon, but he knew that using its magic came with a great responsibility. Eliza leaned closer, captivated by the tale. What did he wish for? The locket's magic is not like any ordinary magic, Tiberius explained. It does not grant wishes lightly. Sir Cedric wished for the dragon to be free from its curse, believing that the dragon was not truly evil but rather trapped by dark magic. As Tiberius spoke, the forest around them seemed to listen. The gentle breeze carried his words to every corner, and the leaves shivered in anticipation. Sir Cedric's wish transformed the dragon's heart. The dragon, once fearsome and angry, became gentle and wise. It left the village in peace, and Sir Cedric became a hero not only for his bravery but for his compassion. Eliza thought for a moment, her eyes reflecting the soft light filtering through the trees. So, the locket helped the dragon? Indeed, Tiberius nodded. The dragon's curse was broken, and it found a new home in a faraway land where it lived out its days in harmony. Sir Cedric's wish not only saved the village but changed the dragon's life forever. Eliza was moved by the story. Is the locket still here? Tiberius smiled gently. Yes, but it is hidden in the glen, protected by enchantments that only the pure-hearted can see. The locket's magic is a reminder that true power lies not in controlling others but in understanding and kindness. Inspired by the tale, Eliza felt a surge of courage and compassion. She decided to help the villagers in any way she could. She began by organizing community events, teaching the younger children about bravery and kindness, and spreading stories of hope and friendship. One day, while Eliza was helping an elderly villager with her garden, she noticed a glimmering light near the old oak tree. Curiosity piqued, she followed the light and discovered the hidden glen. There, nestled among the flowers, lay the magical locket. Eliza did not touch it. Instead, she felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons Tiberius had shared. She understood that the true magic of the locket was not in the wish it granted but in the spirit of compassion and selflessness it represented. As she walked back to the village, Eliza felt a new sense of purpose. The villagers noticed the change in her, and her actions inspired others to join her in making Willowbrook a place of harmony and joy. Years later, the story of Eliza and the magical locket became a beloved tale in Willowbrook. The village thrived, not because of any single wish but because of the collective kindness and bravery of its people. And Tiberius, the wise old tortoise, continued to tell stories, always reminding the villagers of the true magic that lay within their hearts. And so, the tale of Eliza and the locket lived on, a reminder that the greatest magic of all is the power to bring about goodness and change in the world. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town, there was a small bookshop called Whispers of the Pages. The bookshop was nestled between a bakery that always smelled of fresh bread and a flower shop bursting with colorful blooms. The shop was old, with creaky wooden floors and shelves lined with books of every size and color. But what made this bookshop truly special was that it was enchanted, though only a few knew its secret. The bookshop was owned by a kind, elderly man named Mr. Oliver. He had a twinkle in his eye and always wore a soft woolen scarf, no matter the weather. Mr. Oliver loved books more than anything in the world. He knew that books were not just words on paper, but gateways to magical worlds and grand adventures. One rainy afternoon, a young girl named Lucy wandered into the shop. She had been out exploring when the rain started, and she was looking for a place to stay dry. Lucy was an adventurous and curious girl, with a bright smile and a mind full of questions. She loved stories and often imagined herself as the heroine in far-off lands. As Lucy browsed the shelves, Mr. Oliver noticed her and smiled. "Welcome, my dear," he said warmly. "Feel free to explore. There's a book here for everyone." Lucy smiled back and began to wander through the shop. She marveled at the many books, some with golden lettering, others with old, worn covers. There were books about knights and dragons, faraway kingdoms, and talking animals. But as she reached the back of the shop, something caught her eye. It was a small, dusty book tucked away on a high shelf. The book's cover was plain and brown, with no title or author's name. Intrigued, Lucy reached up and carefully pulled it down. As soon as she opened the book, something extraordinary happened. A soft, glowing light emerged from the pages, and the room around her seemed to disappear. Suddenly, Lucy found herself standing in a beautiful, enchanted forest. The trees were tall and covered with glowing leaves that shimmered like stars. A gentle breeze rustled through the branches, and in the distance, Lucy could hear the sound of a bubbling brook. Lucy looked around in amazement. "Where am I?" she whispered. Just then, a small, golden bird flew down and perched on a branch beside her. "Welcome, Lucy," the bird chirped. "You have entered the world of the enchanted bookshop, where stories come to life." Lucy's eyes widened in surprise. "You know my name?" The bird nodded. "Of course. Every reader who opens that book is brought into the world of their own story. Here, your imagination becomes reality. But remember, you must finish your story before the bookshop closes, or you may be stuck here forever." Lucy felt a thrill of excitement. This was exactly the kind of adventure she had always dreamed of. "What do I have to do?" she asked. The golden bird fluttered its wings and said, "Every story needs a hero, and every hero must face a challenge. Your challenge is to find the Heartstone, a magical gem that keeps the balance of this world. It has been stolen by a mischievous goblin named Grimble. Without the Heartstone, the light in our forest will fade, and darkness will take over." Lucy nodded, determined. "I'll find the Heartstone and bring it back." The golden bird pointed its beak toward a path that led deeper into the forest. "Follow this path, and it will lead you to Grimble's lair. But be careful, Grimble is tricky and loves to play games." With a deep breath, Lucy set off down the path. The forest was filled with wonders, glowing flowers, trees that whispered secrets, and friendly animals that greeted her along the way. But Lucy knew she had to stay focused on her mission. After walking for some time, Lucy reached a dark cave at the edge of the forest. This was Grimble's lair. Taking a deep breath, she stepped inside. The cave was dimly lit by glowing mushrooms, and shadows danced on the walls. In the center of the cave, sitting on a pile of treasures, was Grimble. Grimble was small, with pointy ears, a wide grin, and mischievous eyes that twinkled in the dim light. He was holding the Heartstone, a beautiful gem that glowed with a soft, blue light. "Ah, a visitor," Grimble cackled. "What brings you to my humble home?" Lucy stood tall and spoke bravely. "I've come to take back the Heartstone. The forest needs it to stay alive." Grimble chuckled. "You're a bold one, aren't you? But I don't just give away my treasures. If you want the Heartstone, you must win it from me. We'll play a game, a riddle contest. If you solve my riddle, the Heartstone is yours. But if you fail, you'll be stuck here forever." Lucy agreed, her heart pounding with both fear and excitement. Grimble grinned wider and began. Here is your riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Lucy thought hard. She had heard this riddle before. She closed her eyes, imagining the answer. Then, with a smile, she said, "You are an echo." Grimble's grin faded, and his eyes widened in surprise. "You're right," he grumbled. "I didn't think you'd get it so quickly." Reluctantly, Grimble handed the Heartstone to Lucy. As soon as she touched it, the cave filled with a bright light, and the darkness melted away. "Well done, Lucy," Grimble said, sounding both impressed and disappointed. "You've won the game and saved the forest." Lucy thanked Grimble and hurried back to the forest with the Heartstone. As soon as she returned, the golden bird flew down to meet her. "You did it," the bird chirped happily. "The forest is safe again." Lucy placed the Heartstone back in its rightful place in the heart of the forest, and immediately, the trees glowed brighter, and the air filled with the sweet scent of flowers. As Lucy watched, the world around her began to fade, and she found herself back in the bookshop, holding the dusty old book. The light from the pages slowly dimmed, and the book closed with a soft thud. Mr. Oliver appeared beside her, smiling kindly. "It seems you've had quite the adventure, my dear." Lucy nodded, her heart still racing with excitement. "The book, it took me to a magical world." Mr. Oliver chuckled. "Books are magical in many ways. They can take us on adventures, teach us new things, and show us worlds beyond our own. But remember, the most important stories are the ones you create yourself." Lucy smiled, understanding the wisdom in his words. She carefully placed the book back on the shelf, knowing that it would be waiting for the next curious reader to discover its magic. As Lucy left the shop, the rain had stopped, and a rainbow stretched across the sky. She walked home with a heart full of joy, knowing that even in the real world, there were endless adventures waiting to be found in the pages of a book. The end. Once upon a time, in a tranquil valley surrounded by majestic mountains, lay a charming village named Lumina. Lumina was famous for its enchanting orchard that shimmered under the night sky, known as the Starlit Orchard. Every evening, the orchard would glow with the light of thousands of twinkling starfruits hanging from the trees. These starfruits were said to bring good fortune and happiness to those who harvested them. In the heart of Lumina lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and adventurous spirit. She often gazed at the starlit orchard from her window, dreaming of one day exploring its magical trees. Her grandmother had once told her that the orchard held a secret, a hidden grove where the most powerful starfruit of all grew, known as the celestial fruit. One moonlit evening, as the village prepared for the annual harvest festival, the orchard's lights began to flicker and fade. The villagers grew worried, for the festival depended on the orchard's glowing fruits. Mira, determined to help, decided to investigate the source of the fading light. With a small lantern and a basket, Mira entered the orchard as twilight fell. She walked among the trees, marveling at the soft, starlit glow, until she reached a secluded corner of the orchard. There, she found a wise old owl perched on a low branch. "Greetings, young one," the owl hooted softly. "I am Orion, the guardian of the starlit orchard. The light of the starfruits has dimmed because the celestial fruit is missing. Without it, the orchard's magic fades." Mira's eyes widened with determination. "Where can I find the celestial fruit?" Orion's eyes glowed gently. "To find the celestial fruit, you must undertake 3 trials. Each trial will test your heart and spirit. Only those who are true of heart can reach the hidden grove where the celestial fruit grows." With a nod of resolve, Mira accepted the challenge. Orion guided her to the first trial, which was located at the edge of the orchard, where a serene pond lay. The challenge was to retrieve a glimmering star from the middle of the pond, guarded by a shimmering water spirit. The water spirit spoke, "To take the star, you must answer this riddle. I have keys, but open no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but not go inside. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and replied, "A piano." The water spirit smiled and handed Mira the star, which twinkled brightly. Mira continued her journey, carrying the star with her. The second trial led Mira to a dense thicket of thorny bushes. In the center was a crystal-clear stream with a bridge made of shimmering light. But the bridge was guarded by a mischievous fairy who challenged her with a task. The fairy said, "To cross the bridge, you must show me a heart full of kindness. Find something in the thicket that can bring joy to someone else." Mira searched through the thicket and found a delicate, colorful flower hidden among the thorns. She picked it gently and offered it to the fairy, who was delighted by Mira's act of kindness. The fairy allowed Mira to cross the bridge and continue her journey. The final trial took Mira to a dark, mysterious cave. Inside the cave, a maze of glowing, twisting paths awaited her. At the end of the maze was a golden door, but it was locked with a magical keyhole that required a special key. Mira searched through the maze and found the key hidden in a small alcove. With the key in hand, Mira unlocked the golden door and entered a hidden grove bathed in soft, ethereal light. In the center of the grove stood a tree with a single, radiant celestial fruit hanging from its branches. As Mira reached for the celestial fruit, a gentle breeze rustled through the grove, and the fruit glowed even brighter. She carefully picked the fruit and felt its warmth and magic. When Mira returned to the orchard with the celestial fruit, the light of the star fruits began to shine brightly once more. The orchard was filled with a brilliant, golden glow, and the villagers rejoiced as the harvest festival continued with renewed magic and joy. The villagers celebrated Mira's bravery and kindness, and the story of her quest became a cherished legend in Lumina. The celestial fruit was placed in a special place in the village square, where its light would always remind everyone of the courage and heart it took to restore the magic of the starlit orchard. And so, the village of Lumina thrived under the magical glow of the orchard, and Mira's tale was passed down through generations, a testament to the power of determination and the magic that lies within a true heart.